All right, it's looking like I'm about to get started. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to my sparkly corner of the internet. I'm Shine, and this is Divine Shine Tarot with another celebrity reading live stream. How was your Valentine's Day weekend? For those of you that have followed for several of my streams, you know that I have teased my Valentine's Day special live stream for quite a few weeks. Unfortunately, I did have some setbacks. I had a funeral to attend, so it was not as festive as I anticipated. As they say, we plan and God laughs. So, unfortunately, I had a change of events. And so I needed some time to get my energy back. And now I am happy to connect with you all and proceed with these readings, with these specials that I had prepared. So tonight is part one of my Valentine's Day weekend special, where I'll be doing not just one, but two live streams. In this stream, I'll be doing live readings on some famous WAGs. That's an acronym for Wives and Girlfriends of Athletes, since this Valentine's Day weekend coincided with the NBA All-Star Weekend. So it's the perfect time to see what's going on with the engagements and relationships of a few top basketball players, football players, and even the top Formula One race car driver, Lewis Hamilton, who apparently is now dating Kim Kardashian. Here's a quick rundown of everyone I'll be reading tonight. New York Knicks basketball player Kat, aka Karl-Anthony Towns, and his influencer fiance Jordyn Woods. Cleveland Cavaliers point and shooting guard basketball player Donovan Mitchell and his singer fiance Coco Jones. Oh, let's see what's going on in the comments. Thank you, Liliana. Thank you. This is my one of two outfits for my festive Valentine's Day weekend specials. So I'm giving you all hearts. I'm giving you all some cute nails. I've had these on for a few days, and so I wanted to make sure that I record before they get messed up. Since they are kind of cute, kind of festive, kind of fun. So let me get back to my notes here. Hello, Twinkie. Welcome. Yes, I'm about to get started on this stream, this WAGs special, and I'm just introing it right now. So let me just circle back to my notes here. Just going to actually take it from the top because there were a few interruptions. Where was I? Oh, no, I was saying LeBron James. Okay. Top basketball star currently on the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, and his wife, Savannah James. Basketball legend, the late Kobe Bryant, and his wife, Vanessa. Pop superstar Taylor Swift and her NFL pro football player, fiance Travis Kelce, currently on the Kansas City Chiefs. Singer Normani and her NFL pro football player fiance DK Metcalf, currently on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian. Screen just went black. Let's see. Thank you, Kuchunga. Hi, Javi. Welcome. Thank you. You guys are so supportive and so helpful because it's not easy to do these streams. It is not easy to get my energy, get my notes, get everything all aligned. So thank you all for your love, for your support, your likes, your comments. It means so much. Thank you. I mean, like that siren pass. I'm, as usual, in a very noisy place, and that can be very distracting and create a lot of interruptions, but hopefully you guys don't hear it. I try to set my mic up to where there's a gate, something to help block or reduce the noise, the external noise. All right, let me get back into my notes. I will also do another Valentine's special live stream with readings on some of your favorite married celebrity couples that you often ask me to read on, like Justin and Hailey Bieber, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Selena and Benny, Riri and Rocky, and more. So we'll do updated readings on some familiar faces and a few new faces to see what's coming for all of them this year. The monthly horoscope stream is already up. I will post the individual videos as soon as possible. So make sure you turn on notifications to be alerted of when I'm live and join me for those readings to ask your questions. Otherwise, you can always wait a few weeks until I can upload the edited individual video clips of each reading. Whatever I can't get to tonight, I will roll over to my next stream since these readings require a lot of my energy. For those of you that are familiar with my tarot streams, you know I cover a lot. I give you my all and then I get drained. So best for me to recharge and return with more when I'm refreshed and energized so that I can give you my best. For those of you that will watch the replay on YouTube, timestamps will be down below in the description to jump ahead. Just give me a couple business days. As I've shared a few times already in the past streams, prepping the timestamps for my streams takes a lot more time than you realize. You can always watch this in 2x speed if you want to enjoy the whole stream faster and just scroll through the old-fashioned way to get to the readings you're interested in until the timestamps are ready. I have to say this on every stream because you'd be surprised on how many comments I get about these simple things. Unfortunately, some people need a lot of hand-holding or feel entitled, and I don't have time and energy to respond to every individual comment. So I have to hit you all with these basics at the top of every stream for any needy newcomers. All right, so if you enjoy anything about my content, consider booking a reading or sending a donation where you can also attach your request or suggestion for a pop culture reading you'd like to see me do. But the best support is free, so hit that like button and subscribe so that I can continue sharing these celebrity and horoscope readings with you. Okay, now let's get started with the readings. Remember, on lives, I try to just do brief readings, not deep dives, since we cover so many different celebrity readings at once. I'll give background before each reading while I shuffle for me to connect with the energy of each person and also to give you context. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. All right, who do we get started with tonight? The first person on my list was Kat and Jordyn. All right. Oh, wait. Something's happening in the comments. Who's that? Okay. Kuchunga, Javi. Just making sure my chat is visible and up to date. Looks like it is. All right. So let's get started with the first reading of the night on Karl-Anthony Towns, star center and power forward big man for the New York Knicks, and his fiancée Jordyn Woods. Let's get some pictures going of them here. Boom. Can you all see that? I'm trying to zoom in and it's not. Well, hopefully it's visible for you all. I'm able to see it on my end. All right, Kat, Karl-Anthony Towns, star center and power forward big man for the New York Knicks, and his fiancée Jordyn Woods, who is an influencer previously known as a friend of Kylie Jenner, and she was seen on their Kardashian shows. They recently got engaged in December 2025, Christmas Day actually, after 5 years of dating. They recently purchased a $14 million home in LA. Kat and his teammate Jalen Brunson actually won the Shooting Stars competition at the NBA All-Stars event this weekend, so good for them. So Kat is a 30-year-old Scorpio and Jordyn is 28. She is September 28th, so I guess, what's that, a Libra? Either a Libra or a Virgo, but I think Virgo, the cutoff is like September 20th or something. So let's see what the cards have to say about Kat and Jordyn, Spirit. Will they make it down the aisle this year? Or what is the energy in their relationship? What is their dynamic? Let's get a few cards out for Kat and Jordyn. I'm going to actually do a thorough shuffle before I take any cards. Yes, just tarot. Welcome, welcome. Thanks. Come on in. No facts, no truth. Just tarot. All right. So let's get a few cards out for Karl-Anthony Towns and Jordyn Woods, Spirit. What can you tell me about Kat and Jordyn? Let's finish shuffling before I take cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about Karl-Anthony Towns, big man for the New York Knicks, and his fiancée, influencer Jordyn Woods? What is the dynamic in their relationship? What is to come for them in the near future? Will they make it down the aisle this year? What is the dynamic of their relationship? And then maybe I'll ask afterwards, will Kat get traded at the end of this season? Because there have been a lot of Knicks trade rumors that he has been a part of. The trade season deadline just ended, but The end of season trades may come up faster than we all realize since time has been flying lately. Somehow we're already through half of February, knocking on March, and I'm still recovering from the holidays. So let's see what the cards can tell us about Kat and Jordyn. Okay. Oh, first card is the Lovers. Wow. This is a beautiful card. This indicates that they are perhaps destined to be together, destined to have a beautiful, harmonious relationship and union together. This might be everlasting love. It might be a connection that endures the test of time, as we should say. Sometimes this could also even mean soulmates, someone that you may have had a connection with in the past, a previous lifetime. So that is a beautiful card to see in a love reading, and the first time in a long time that I see a positive start to a relationship reading. So I'm really happy to see that for Jordyn and Kat. Now here we have the Five of Swords, and this indicates a period of conflict. Perhaps someone was being petty or messy and playing dirty, trying to win at all costs. So this could perhaps be some external influences. We'll pull out a few more cards to see where it's directing us. Queen of Wands. So since this is a feminine energy, it could be indicating something about Jordyn, or is there a third party, perhaps? The Queen of Wands, she is very charming, confident, courageous, enthusiastic, very focused, very determined, very independent. So I wonder if this could be saying that this independent energy of a feminine, perhaps Jordyn, perhaps an external party, this independent energy could create conflict in an otherwise harmonious union or relationship. Let's see where this is going. Nine of Cups. So someone got what they wanted, but now they're not happy with it. This Nine of Cups is about someone getting their wish fulfilled, but realizing it's not all that it's cracked up to be. I wonder what that could be about. Since they just got engaged 2 months ago, you would imagine that after 5 years of dating, they are clear on who they are looking to spend the rest of their lives with. And does this perhaps say something about, now that I'm engaged and preparing for marriage, I'm having doubts about this person, or not knowing if, now that I've started living with him, since they have a new home in LA, perhaps he's not who I thought I could spend the rest of my life with long term. We'll see, because it doesn't necessarily have to be her. Maybe he has doubts. Maybe he's starting to see things are not as he thought. But overall, this card is so strong that it could overcome any doubts, any hesitations either of them have. So let's see what the rest of the cards say. Oh, Six of Cups. Okay, so this is about familiarity and nostalgia, something or someone to do with the past. But since it's upright, this is favorable. So maybe this relationship is reminiscent of an experience one or either of them have had in the past in a favorable way. So maybe for some reason I'm getting his mom. I'm hearing his mom. Perhaps Jordyn reminds Kat of his mom, or brings him back to a sense of comfort, some familiarity with his home structure. Well, however he grew up, there is something that he is finding in Jordyn or in this relationship that brings him back to those roots in a way that is comforting and familiar and enjoyable, desirable. So this is a positive, but I'm still not clear about some of the conflicts, doubts, and strong feminine energy that we saw in those earlier cards. And this could also be something about a past life, because I know that I mentioned with the Lovers card that sometimes this could indicate soulmates, people that have perhaps had connection in past lives. So this could potentially be nodding at that as well, or pointing to that as well. Then we have the Knight of Wands. And this is the energy of someone that is very adventurous, that is inspired to take action and very passionate. So we're getting two fiery cards in this reading so far. And generally that's pretty good, because to have passion and determination when you are about to marry someone indicates that both sides are being proactive about advancing with this union, and both are interested and excited since there is so much energy here. So that is pretty good, and a reminder that Kat is a Scorpio and Jordyn seems to be a Libra. So all of this fiery energy is just based in enthusiasm and motivation, which is good. You want to see that from both sides, a willingness to do, a willingness to advance or progress in a relationship. But let's also think about the energy of an athlete that can be very energized and also youthful, because let me see their ages again. Yeah, Kat is 30 and Jordyn is 28. So maybe they are young spirits as well. We're seeing maturity here with the Queen of Wands, but the Knight of Wands is maybe a little more youthful, but this is still a pretty good foundation in this. Oh, wait a minute. 5 of Cups. So this is about grief, loss, disappointment, regrets. And I am once again brought to this 6 of Cups where I was hearing something about his mom. Now, I do recall seeing that Jordyn gifted Kat with a car that his mom drove when she was younger or something like that. I believe his mom passed away. And so this may be a long-term grief and sadness that Kat carries, and maybe the energy that Jordyn gives him or uses to uplift him is part of the reason that they are such a good match or very happy with each other, that, you know, she is very considerate of his loss and helps to uplift him and reminds him of things about his past. So that contributes to the passion and the love that he must have for her, which is really important, that you want someone to, of course, you have to do your own work to be your best self, but you want someone that is compassionate, is what I was trying to get at with that card. Someone that's compassionate and considerate of some of the wounds that you'll carry for a lifetime, losing someone as foundational as a parent, and especially if you had a good relationship with that parent, or whatever relationship you had, a parent, a mother, you know, the nurturer, that support, that feminine foundation is probably something that Kat misses or longs for. And he's probably seeing or finding a lot of that in Jordyn. Oh, then we have this Judgment card in reverse. And usually this means that someone needs a period of self-reflection or needs to exercise more self-awareness, because there is some purpose or calling that they are meant to step into. So this is like a time of elevation or a change that you are meant to do in your life, but there are delays and obstruction to that due to one still needing to learn some life lesson or self-reflect on something in order to release it or elevate from that, improve from that. So since it's coming after the 5 of Cups, I think it's just reinforcing what I was saying, that this is a loss that Kat will grieve for a very long time. Maybe Jordyn herself has also lost someone of significance that we don't know about, that perhaps that's something that they share, that they have in common. And the important thing is to not allow that grief, that regret, that loss or disappointment to keep you stuck in an eternal cycle of grieving. So hopefully this union, this relationship, this love is going to help Kat or both of them to get to the next stage of not only their loves, but their higher selves, their better selves. So we will leave that there. I'm just taking a quick look. Page of Pentacles reverse, 2 of Wands reverse. Doesn't feel like those are for them. 9 of Swords reversed, the Tower reversed. We'll leave that there, and I wish them well. I hope they make it down the aisle, if not this year, next year, and have a beautiful wedding. Something just told me to pull a few more cards. Let me just shift this up. Pull a few more cards. Which deck do I want to use? I guess I'll pull from here. Let's get a few more cards on Kat and Jordyn spirit. What else can you tell me about Kat and Jordyn? Will they make it down the aisle this year? Will Kat and Jordyn have their wedding ceremony this year, spirit? Let's get a few cards out for Kat and Jordyn. Karl-Anthony Towns of the New York Knicks and his fiancée Jordyn Woods. Will they get married this year, spirit? So the Magician card popped out, and this indicates someone that may be manipulative or someone that may not be using all of their resources and skills, all that they have at their disposal. So it is creating blockages to creation, creating blockages to manifestation. Then we have the Empress card. Uh-oh, is there going to be a baby? Ooh, the Empress is the divine feminine energy, the goddess of fertility and abundance and creativity. This is someone that's very self-confident. So maybe there will be some little cat Jordans, baby cats, baby Jordans before they make it down the aisle. That may be the reason that they're not able to advance with the planning. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, the Star card. So this is about hope, faith, a very calming energy. But when I'm speaking of the athletes and celebrities, usually it indicates something about someone's fame or their brand. So, I wonder if Kat will win something. Will he perhaps... Will he win the, what's the name of the big thing at the end of the NBA? The big basketball championship, the finals? Or is it the playoffs? Kat might win something based on this. It might be a baby and a championship coming up for them first. Interesting. That would be exciting, right? I don't think the Knicks have won in a long time. So we'll pull some cards about Kat's career right after this. But then we have the World card, indicating some life lesson that has not been learned yet. So this is obstruction and delays to concluding something, to being able to finalize or end something favorably. And I think we saw some elements of that in the Judgment card. We also saw some sort of blockages here with the Magician card. So either this has to do with, again, someone in this relationship between Jordyn Woods and Karl-Anthony Towns needing to self-reflect about something in order to arrive at this stage of completion and accomplishment and exercise their self-awareness and self-reflection. But it could also have something to do with travel, like maybe some travel plans don't go as planned, as expected. Maybe, could this be about a trade? I wonder. We're going to pull cards about that afterwards. This could be about a trade. This could be about maybe the Knicks get as far as the Eastern Conference Finals, but they don't make it all the way to the finals. We'll see, because it seems like something about the career is going to impact the timing of their wedding or the timing of when they start a family and when they eventually have their ceremony. So that's why, even though it's a love reading, I'm still getting a few messages about some accolades that may be coming for Kat, as well as some blockages or obstructions. But we'll leave that there. Six of Cups in reverse again, but this time, the first time we had it upright, this time it's in reverse. The Devil card is never good to see. This is about addictions, vices, bad habits, bad influences, and materialism. But let's see what the bottom of these decks say. Oh, we have the Knight of Wands again. Lots of energy, passion, fearlessness, maybe even some impulsiveness. So this could be saying actually that when they do get married, perhaps it'll be all of a sudden instead of a planned out event that they prepare long in advance. I don't know. I have a feeling that the impulsiveness may have something to do with this potential pregnancy. Maybe that's what changes their timeline or their planning. And this Two of Wands card is reinforcing this idea of planning and preparation. So the wedding will come, just maybe not immediately, because it seems like they have some other things going on in their life and career that may unexpectedly bring beautiful gifts in a different form. So we're seeing potential awards like a shiny trophy or a beautiful bouncing bambino or bambina. So that seems beautiful. Either way, it looks like they are destined to be together for a long time, not just a good time. So that's beautiful. I wish you and Jordyn well, Kat. Now let's see what the cards have to say about Kat possibly being traded at the end of this season. Although it is kind of early to look into that. There's so many variables that can affect that outcome. Would be fun to at least see what the cards say for now, and then we can always do another reading to revisit that later. So let me see what cards I should use for that. I'll actually use this deck. Let's see. I've been having so much trouble with YouTube. Like, there was an announcement that YouTube was down today, and then there was a lot of issues I was having with my last stream where it wasn't letting me edit it. It wasn't letting me chop it up, which is why I haven't released it as yet. So I hope that I'm able to have a seamless stream tonight without so many interruptions, because this techie world sometimes doesn't really work for us. Sometimes it works against us or creates a lot of hurdles and challenges that we just have to persevere and overcome. So let's use this deck to see what is to come for Karl-Anthony Towns of the New York Knicks, to see, will he get traded after this season? Because wait, what? Oh, just wanted to note that we're seeing the Three of Pentacles here. That usually means teamwork, collaboration. But let me shuffle first and see what I get. So will Kat get traded from the New York Knicks after this season? The trade deadline just ended, and surely Kat's performance will influence if his team trades him or not. But there have been consistent rumors that he is likely one of the top pieces to get traded because he is the highest paid player on the team. And in a salary cap league, trading the players with the heftiest contracts allows them to secure more talent based on the team's needs. So the first card that flipped out here is the Seven of Wands. And this indicates someone that is on top playing defense, defending their position to stay on top, pushing off all of these attacks. So this could be that maybe Kat is trying to stay on the team and I'm not sure how the contracts work. Does he have control over what team he goes to? Or could this indicate that he performs very well in the playoffs defensively, and that contributes to him being able to stay on the team? Staying on top could indicate something about him wanting to keep the high contract or prioritizing the high salary over staying on a specific team. Let's see what the following cards say. Ooh, indecision with this Two of Swords. So there will be a very tough decision that Kat will have to make. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. He'll definitely need to use his intuition and consider all of the variables or considerations to decide what's best. Or perhaps the people that are in charge of making those decisions are very undecided. The Leon Rose and whoever else runs that team or makes those decisions for the executive office, the executive branch of the New York Knicks. Ooh, King of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about something to do with business or whoever is in charge of making the decisions, calling the shots in a business, not making the right choices or being greedy, being cheap, being stubborn, maybe even not thinking about how it affects all of the moving pieces all at once. This is about something negative to do with business decisions and financial decisions. So this could be saying that indeed the people in charge may be prioritizing freeing up cap space, prioritizing recouping that salary in order to staff the team with whatever it needs. But again, it's just a bit early in the season to call it. There's a lot of indecision because they haven't seen how this current team performs in the playoffs as yet, since they do have a new coach. So let's see. Ooh, yikes. 5 of Cups. So this is the first card that comes out that felt like a yes, Cat will get traded, because this is about disappointment, grief, loss, and regrets. But I wonder if this could also be saying that if they do trade Cat, it would be regrettably, because it seems like their hands might be tied. Like it's going to be a lose-lose decision, or either way, whether they keep him or not, there has to be a sacrifice. So the considerations will be around the finances, and they may have to part ways with him. They may have to part ways with him regrettably, but this could be Cat feeling a bit down that he is no longer on the team. So thus far, it does seem like Cat will get traded after this season, but I'll take a look at a few more just to see what the upcoming cards are saying. Interesting. Empress reverse, 2 of Cups upright. So it looks like he's going to be making a new deal, a new proposal, a new contract, or working with a new team based off of this 2 of Cups. This Empress in reverse indicates something about a lack of confidence. So there may be some hesitation or resistance to the new team that Cat will get traded to, but eventually he will come around to feel good about it. Either way, a deal is going to be made, whether he wants the deal or not. This card is a strong indicator of trade. A trade is going to happen. And the bottom of these decks indicated, ooh, someone's going to have to take a pay cut. And the Magician upright is about manifestation, someone that has all the power, the skills, and the knowledge to do whatever they want, whatever they need. So even if Cat gets traded, it may still be to a place that he is partially interested in. He may have some say in it, not fully, but there is still an element of disappointment of him leaving the Knicks. It seems like he likes being on the Knicks, which is why he would fight to try to stay on there and would be disappointed to leave. And with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, something about the money is going to have to give. Either he will have to take a reduced salary, which I don't know if that's even an option, depending on how many years he has left on his current contract. I think he has to finish that out before he even talks about a new salary. Or this could indicate that whatever team does trade for him, they either give up a lot or give up a little. There's someone that is going to lose in this trade somehow. I don't know if it's that the Knicks won't get back what they gave up in terms of giving up a player of Cat's caliber and maybe not getting the best talent in return, or you thought you were getting this talent or that position and these strengths, but then as you see them play, you realize that's not really strengthening our team. There's something here that financially is not going to work out for someone, for either Cat or one of the two teams that will be involved in this trade. There's going to be certainly a lot of sacrifice that will go into that. So I guess we will wait and see. It's a matter of patience with this Seven of Pentacles. We will wait and see what happens. And then, of course, after they rest up after the playoffs later this year, we should get some answers. So the cards are pretty much aligned with what most of us, or most of the people that have been following, most of the people that follow sports or basketball specifically, have been thinking or assumed. All right, let's move into our next reading of the night. Let me check with my notes here. Oh, now we are going to do a reading on Coco Jones and Donovan Mitchell. So this is let me make sure you guys can see me. Yes. So let's jump into this reading on singer Coco Jones, NBA pro basketball player fiance Donovan Mitchell, currently a star point guard on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who also competed in the three-point contest this weekend in the NBA All-Star events. After 2 years of dating, they announced their engagement in July 2025, last summer. We saw them getting kissy on the field last weekend after Coco Jones sang the Black National Anthem to start the Super Bowl. Uh-oh. My mouse is being funky. Hold on, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to zoom out here. We saw them getting kissy on the field last weekend after Coco Jones sang the Black National Anthem to start the Super Bowl. They seem to support each other's careers. Coco is often seen at Mitchell's games, and Mitchell praises her for her work ethic. They say they are planning an intimate wedding. So Coco Jones, isn't she gorgeous, by the way? Such a beauty. And that's Donovan. There we go. So Coco Jones, a.k.a. Courtney Michaela Ann Jones. Ooh, she must be from the South with that name. Anytime you hear like a Ann, Michaela Ann in the nickname, it's usually a Southern gal. She is 28. She is a Capricorn, and Donovan Mitchell is 29. He is a Virgo. So 2 earth signs. That usually is a good start, a good union. Lots of solid couples that are both earth. So let's see what the cards have to say about Coco and Donovan. Coco Jones and Donovan Vernell Mitchell Jr. Let me actually switch decks. I was enjoying this first one. Feels cute in my hand since it's so small. I love this deck too, but I'm trying to switch up the decks just to keep things visually interesting. Okay, hi, welcome. Come on in, it's high vibrational in here. We're just about to get started on a reading on Donovan Mitchell and singer Coco Jones. Just setting up my set since I'm switching decks. Give me 1 second. Okay, Spirit. What is to come for Donovan Vernell Mitchell Jr. and Coco Courtney Michaela Ann Jones? What's to come for Donovan Mitchell, the pro basketball player, and singer Coco Jones? Spirit, let's get some cards out for the recently engaged Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones. They got engaged last summer, and some would like to know if they will get married this year. Will they make it down the aisle? It looked like they had nice chemistry at the Super Bowl last weekend. So let's see what the cards say. So the first thing we're seeing is this Knight of Cups in reverse. This indicates a bit of immaturity, someone that could be manipulative or very disappointing, untrustworthy, maybe even jealous. Ooh, yikes. So I wonder who is immature and jealous. This is a water sign card. I believe that's a Scorpio sign, and that's a Scorpio card, and they are both earth signs. So let's see what the rest of the cards say. So we're seeing strength. The strength card coming after this card that indicated jealousy, meaning someone's probably trying to overlook something that they were uncomfortable with, that caused them to feel jealous or to doubt something in their relationship. Something challenged the trust in that relationship, and now perhaps the female, Coco, maybe trying to overlook that and stay the course to try to make it as far as marriage. We're seeing the 10 of Wands. Yikes. So this is an unbearable burden, something that someone has to offload because it is not sustainable. Usually this means that someone has taken on too many responsibilities, but in a love reading, especially following cards indicating jealousy and a need for internal strength, this may indicate that these efforts, this emotional labor of trying to overlook something that caused distrust or jealousy, hesitation, and doubt, it will not work in the long run because it is too much for one of the people in that relationship to bear. I'm really surprised. I thought they looked like a lovely couple. Yikes. Once again, dishonesty. This is about someone that is less than truthful, or some information that is causing confusion, chaos, stress, and anxiety because it is not truthful. This Ace of Swords in reverse indicates a lack of clarity. And if I could just put it straight, there seems to be lying in this relationship. Someone's lying. Someone is doing something to cause distrust and jealousy. And while someone in that relationship is trying to be strong and endure as much as possible for the relationship to last and to make it as far as marriage, it does not seem like it will. I'm sorry to say. Let me see what else the cards are saying. Ooh, okay. We're seeing Queen of Wands, Eight of Cups. Let me see the bottom of the decks. Yeah, sheesh. Well, I would say, I was going to pull from another deck, but this indicates that they will not make it. Let me just take another look. What was this? Four of Swords and the Judgment. The Judgment doesn't really seem, well, I'll take all of these. Yeah. So we're seeing courage and confidence with this Queen of Wands. Someone's going to get the energy, most likely, since this is a feminine, most likely is going to get Coco. She's going to get the energy to confront something or confront some reality in this relationship. Hi, Kyle. Yes, I will be doing a reading on Lewis Hamilton later this evening, since he is currently dating Kim Kardashian. So we'll see what the cards say about them. Right now, I'm in the middle of a reading for Coco Jones, the singer who just did the anthem last weekend at the Super Bowl, and basketball player Donovan Mitchell of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this Queen of Wands card, as I was saying, indicates that Coco may get the courage to confront something, and that seems to be the courage to walk away from this relationship with this Eight of Cups, as meaningful as it was to her, or as much as she valued the time that they had spent together. And I think Ciara and Russell Wilson, another famous WAG couple. Ciara's a singer. Russell Wilson is a football player. I think that they either connected them, or they may have had something to do with the proposal. And because they seemingly have such a great relationship, people assume that if Ciara and Russell are involved in another WAG type relationship, that it usually means that it's also destined for the same long lasting union or connection similar to theirs. But it looks like this one will not make it. This Eight of Cups indicates that Coco may be walking away because of lies, because of, I don't want to say infidelity, but perhaps that may be part of what is creating jealousy and distrust. Then we got this Four of Swords, indicating a need for rest because of some challenges to one's health, usually mental health. And the Judgment card indicating a need for self-reflection and self-awareness. So someone needs to grow up. Someone needs to do better and step into a better stage of their life. So whoever was the one that was creating lies and creating doubts is usually the one that needs to do that work. But it seems like whoever is affected by whatever disappointment and distrust they experience in that relationship will also have to do some self-work in order to heal, as well as to rebuild themselves and step into their better and higher selves as well. This Two of Wands indicates that they may not make it as far as the wedding. This Two of Wands is about a lack of planning, a lack of preparation. So I'm so sad to see this because I really loved what I saw energetically between Coco and Donovan. I hope it's not true. I hope these cards are just wrong. And, you know, things can always change. Energy can always change. So we can always pull some cards down the line. But this last card here, the Star card in reverse, indicates despair, a lack of faith. Usually this could indicate some sort of loss of fame or brand. Someone's image is tarnished because of something. We could assume that it just means that in this relationship, someone is turned off. The shine that someone saw on their partner is no more. They've lost their luster. They're not, this relationship, this situation is not what I thought it would be. So it has lost its appeal. I no longer like him, or I no longer like her, because of needing to step away from these lies and dishonesty. And I'm sad to see it, but I wish them well, of course. Yeah. Five of Cups, High Priestess, intuition, trust your gut, Coco or Donovan, which, sorry to say, it doesn't feel like it's, I don't feel like she is the one that's lying to him. It feels like it might be him lying to her. So trust your inner voice at this time, Coco, because it seems like you might know the answer, but you're trying to overlook it. You're trying to get to the end, to make it to the marriage part, to make it down the aisle. But if you can't trust this person, you can't build with this person, you can't grow with this person. So as disappointing as it may be, better to grieve it now than to continue to invest more in the relationship, and then you're going to have more to lose in the long run. More of your time, more of your effort. It will be more painful if you do force it to make it as far as marriage, and then have to deal with not only separating from someone, but dealing with the legal headache that a divorce can bring. So I'm sorry to see this for Coco and Donovan. I wish them well, and I hope the cards are wrong. So let's see who is next in the list to do a reading on tonight. Ooh, I see that we are about to switch off into some of the legends that I had listed for tonight. Let me just collect these cards, prepare the visuals, and shuffle. So keeping it basketball, let's look at the relationship dynamic of a basketball legend, GOAT LeBron James, who competed in this weekend's NBA All-Star Game, and his wife, Savannah. They are high school sweethearts from Akron, Ohio, that have been together for over 20 years. After a 2011 New Year's Eve engagement, they've been married for 13 years now, and they shared 3 kids. That's 2 sons and a daughter. Oh, look at them from back in the days. Wow. It's beautiful and rare to see people that have been together for that long. Young LeBron and Savannah, very nice. And now they're all fabulous. Look at them. Lovely. So let's see what the cards say about LeBron Raymond Jr., or is that senior? It says LeBron Raymond James Sr., who is 40. He is a Capricorn. And Savannah Rachel, or Rachel James. It's spelled Racheal. So let's see what the cards have to say about LeBron James. My screen just went black. For those of you in the chat, if you could just drop a few emojis and confirm that you can see me, you can hear me. Okay, it just came back. I see some hearts. Okay. Someone said sorry about them, but next. Okay. Yes. All right. So since we're good, thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. That's my chair. It's squeaking around. Okay, let me just adjust myself. My circulation needs to be freed up. Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say about... Let me just restart that shuffle. Let's see what the cards have to say about LeBron Raymond James, who is 40 years old. He's a Capricorn, and Savannah Rachel James, his wife. So the first card that popped out here is the Moon card, but in reverse. So this card indicates that illusions, fears, and anxiety could be getting the best of someone. Yikes, I wonder what that is referring to. There is some hidden information or secrets that may be affecting either the relationship or the mentality of someone in the relationship. So let me pull out some more cards here to get more information. Temperance in reverse. This is about someone who is lacking balance and lacking patience. So there is an impatience, perhaps from the person that is feeling these anxieties and fears due to the illusion or perception of something. So there may be some paranoia. There may be some situation that is lingering, that someone is waiting for it to be revealed, waiting for it to come to an end. And there is this element of impatience. But when we think about imbalance, it could also be an imbalance between someone's priorities. So work-life balance. Maybe it's too much of putting into work and not enough into the home life. And maybe someone, I would assume Savannah, is growing impatient with how much longer is this dedication to your craft going to last for, since LeBron James is a very strong and healthy 40 years old in the NBA, playing at a pro level of basketball still at an age where usually by now many basketball players either retire or they're just not as good and they are not as prime as LeBron still seems to be. When I say prime, I mean he still is a big part of the conversation in the NBA. Where's LeBron going to go? What's going on with his contract? There's still so much interest in LeBron. He's still considered one of the GOATs. So it seems like the impatience, maybe that Savannah is waiting for the prioritization of LeBron's career to die down so that he can shift into prioritizing family life, or waiting for some information to be cleared up or revealed. Let's get a few more cards out here. Oh, this is good. Wheel of Fortune. So this is about good luck. This is about fate and karma, good fate and karma. So if this is about waiting for something to be cleared up, it seems like this could be saying it's not as things seem to be. If Savannah thought that she perceived something to be concerning, once it's cleared up, it seems like she'll realize that's not the case at all, that she can rest easy, that she can trust in her husband and her relationship again. Or this could also be some sort of victory. Maybe LeBron wins something in the years to come. Let's get a few more cards out. Ooh, yikes. Ace of Cups in reverse. So this is about emotional loss. It could be that someone passes away, or this could mean that someone is falling out of love when we're doing a love and relationship reading. Someone is starting to lose the emotions and the feelings that they had for someone or for something, for a connection. And after being together for over 20 years, as lovely of a couple as they seem to be, would not be surprising if maybe you wake up one day and realize you don't really love this version of the person that you married, or your priorities have changed. And so this person is no longer in alignment with you and your priorities. There seems to be some truth that comes to light that leads to or contributes to this emotional loss and emptiness, lack of feelings that seem to already be happening. Or whether this information is positive or negative, it seems like there's already a disconnect in that relationship. They're already maybe growing apart. Okay, the Empress. Interesting. Empress upright. This is divine feminine energy. Someone feeling very confident and creative and possibly even fertile. So I would assume Savannah's done having kids at this stage, or who knows? Are they perhaps thinking of squeezing one more out before they enter the next stage of their lives, before they become seniors? This could also indicate that someone is feeling very creative in the sense of manifestation, ready and willing to take on some new creative project. Maybe it's a new business, a new career, branching off into something new because you're feeling there's a sense of abundance and certainly favor. External elements are in your favor. So it's actually a good time to make a change. So it remains to be seen what that could be pointing to. Oh, wow. But we're seeing the High Priestess card, which we saw at the end of the previous reading that I just did. The High Priestess indicates that one needs to listen to their internal voice, their intuition, their gut feelings about something. So it could be saying that whatever this illusion was, whatever someone was fearful of or doubting or having anxiety about because you think something is one way, but you may be getting gaslit to think that it's not. I hate to say it, but it seems to be the theme for most relationships. It usually has something to do with infidelity or just not being able to trust someone. It seems like this is saying that trust what you're feeling. If you have a doubt, if you have that anxiety, then you're most likely right. And I'm led to believe that this must be Savannah. Whatever Savannah is doubting in that relationship, whatever she thinks was funny business, it seems that she is spot on with her assessment that maybe allegedly, based on these cards, no facts, no truth, just tarot, maybe at some point in that relationship there was infidelity, and that has caused some distrust and some loss of feelings and some growing apart, falling out of love with each other. And at least Savannah will have the validation of knowing that whatever hunch she had is correct. If that information ever does get revealed, she will know that she wasn't just making things up in her head or blowing it out of proportion. It wasn't just an illusion. It is what her female intuition was telling her. Two of Wands in reverse, indicating that some plan does not go as planned. So there was a lack of preparation or a need for more planning in something. I wonder what that means. Some plan falls apart and doesn't advance as they wanted to or as they wish it did. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So it feels like all these cards were in the previous reading, and I didn't feel like I shuffled properly before the first few cards fell out. So I kind of am hesitant to accept these last few, but before I shuffle and take four more, I'll just say that this Knight of Wands is about someone who is energized, impulsive, active, adventurous. And if indeed there is any truth to someone in that relationship between Lebron and Savannah falling out of love, then it seems like something happens for someone to regain their energy or their passion and desire for either the other person in this relationship or for life in general. We also see the Seven of Wands, which is about someone being defensive, someone fighting off attacks to stay on top. So this could mean that while there may be problems in the marriage, they may fight to stay together. Let me pause there, shuffle, and see if I could just get a few more cards here at the end to clarify, because some of those felt like, since they repeated from the previous reading, maybe it just needs one more shuffle here. One second. Pretty noisy. That's why I have to shuffle this way, because this deck is new, and so the cards are very strong, very tough. The card stock is not yet malleable. So let's see what the cards say. Let me just get a few more cards out for this reading on LeBron James and Savannah James, Spirit. What else can you tell me about the dynamic in their relationship? What is to come for LeBron and Savannah James, Spirit? What can you tell me about LeBron and Savannah James? Let's get a few more cards out. Ooh, another card that we got earlier tonight, 9 of Cups. Someone got what they wished for, and it's not all that it was made out to be. So someone is displeased with what they ended up with. And when I think back to this idea of impatience and this idea of some anxieties and fears around some illusion, it's just reinforcing this Ace of Cups of someone not being happy in the relationship, falling out of love with the relationship or with the person after so many years and so many changes, and the priorities not necessarily working for someone anymore. Yeah, 4 of Cups. So after a period of contemplation, seclusion, disappointment, and dissatisfaction, now there is a decision to step away or be receptive. It could go either way, but I would think it is a decision to leave something behind, since it's following this 9 of Cups that also indicated some sort of dissatisfaction. Ooh, the World card in reverse. Not making it to the end of something. So there is a lack of completion. Some goal that someone wanted to make it to is obstructed or is experiencing setbacks and delays. There is a need to make some adjustments, learn some lesson in order to get to the end of whatever this accomplishment was meant to be. I wonder what that could be, because the World card could also point to something to do with travel. Let me just pull one more card out to see if that helps clarify things. 3 of Wands. This is about expansion and growth. So we're getting a lot of back and forth here in the cards, these last 4 cards I pulled, because we're seeing delays and blockages, but then expansion and growth. We're seeing dissatisfaction, but also passion, desire, just energy. So there is a lot of effort in this relationship where they're trying to stay together. They're trying to make it work, even though there's a sense of growing impatient, even though there is a loss of feelings, a loss of emotion, a falling out of love with someone. Seems like they are just going to weather the course and try to stay married, whether it's happily or not. They have so much history, especially since she is the mother of his kids. I hope this doesn't mean that there might be someone else that has a child for him. I doubt it. I mean, if we saw that card in reverse, I guess we can consider that to be the case. But it seems like this is more so saying that Savannah is going to prioritize what's best for the kids. Her role as a mother means more to her than maybe taking any kind of action against her marriage, against that foundation, just because of a change in feelings or a change in priorities and some dissatisfaction that seems to be persistent in these cards. But ultimately they will stay together and try to make it work. So I guess I guess that's, you know, whatever they want, good for them. I guess staying together is ideally what you would like to see for a couple that's been together for so long, but if you have to fight off so many attacks in your marriage, naturally someone will eventually get fatigued. So it seems like maybe Savannah takes on a lot of the emotional labor in that relationship to try to keep things afloat and stable and consistent for the kids, of course, but also for her to tolerate. The cards gave this sense of tolerance, like, I'm displeased, I'm impatient, but I am tolerating, and we're persevering, and we're just going to keep staying the course with that Three of Wands that we saw at the end. So I wish them well. Good luck to LeBron and Savannah James. Now, let's do a reading on another legend, the beloved basketball GOAT, Kobe Bryant, gone too soon, the Black Mamba, and his wife Vanessa. So Kobe Bean Bryant, the 5-time NBA, oh wait, you guys can't see. Okay, there we go. Kobe Bean Bryant, the 5-time NBA champion, born in Philly and raised in Italy for 7 formative years in his youth, when his father, Joe Bryant, left the NBA to play for several Italian teams. Kobe famously played on the Los Angeles Lakers for 20 years of his career. Wait a second. Kobe famously played on the Los Angeles Lakers for his 20-year career. He met Vanessa Cornejo Urbieta Boise Lane on the set of a music video back in 1999. They married in 2001 and share 4 beautiful daughters in their over 20-year marriage until his unfortunate passing in a January 2020 fatal helicopter accident, taking the lives of the 9 passengers, including Kobe and his second daughter, 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. Oh, such a shame to lose such a legend. That's what I was looking for, the picture of the family. So 1, 2, 3, and I think they have 4 daughters, but one of these is Gianna. So may they rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in paradise to Kobe and Gianna. And let's just remember what a beautiful couple. I was trying to zoom in, but I guess it's not letting me. All right, let's just leave that as is. It's nice to see the throwbacks though. Oh, very cute. Look at them in better times. Lovely. Okay, so let's do a reading on Kobe and Vanessa. Spirit, what was the dynamic between Kobe Bean Bryant, who is a Leo, and August 23rd Leo? He would have been 47, turning 48 this year. And Vanessa Cornejo Urbieta Boise Lane. King of Cups is the first card that came out. So, and by the way, Vanessa is 43. She's a Taurus. This King of Cups is about someone who is cold, obsessive, moody. There is an element of manipulation here. So let's get a few more cards out. This is a divine masculine, but it could apply to either gender because we both have female and we both have feminine and masculine energy. So the 4 of Swords indicates someone that after a period of rest is eager to step out and reactivate themselves. But since we're doing a retroactive reading, actually, you know what? I wanted to actually do this reading with a different deck. So let me pause this here. Yeah, because these cards are better for readings of current energy or future energy. I think one of these decks is a lot better suited for past energy. So let me just pause and switch here. Oh, Another thick deck. It's been hard for me to shuffle tonight because I got all these. I wanted to do a different set of rings, but this one especially is not letting me shuffle properly. Okay, let's see. Someone just said something. Let me see. Hi, Skegga. Welcome. So nice to see you. How is it going down there in Louisiana? We're just about to get started on a reading on Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. I'm going to look into what was the dynamic between them. And later tonight, I will be doing a reading on your girl, Taylor Swift. So circle back for that. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about the dynamic between Kobe being Bryant, a Leo who would have been 47 turning 48 this year, and Vanessa Cornejo Urbieta Boise Bryant, who is 43, and she is a Taurus? What was the dynamic in their relationship with the legend, the basketball legend, the great Kobe Bryant? May he rest in peace. Oh, Mardi Gras, how fun. Lovely, enjoy. I've never been, but it's definitely something on the list of things that I might want to check out in my lifetime. I hear that there's really good food down there in Louisiana and New Orleans. So I gotta check that out sometime. Especially, would be nice to kill two birds with one stone in terms of enjoy the food and enjoy the Mardi Gras festivities at the same time. Enjoy that nice warm weather and all that fun ambience. Oh, outside of New Orleans. Okay. Yeah, there must be, I guess, maybe a smaller version of the Mardi Gras where you're at, right? Or is it just in one area? Is it just in Nolans, as I've heard them say? All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about what was the dynamic between Kobe and Vanessa Bryant, Spirit? Let's get a few cards out for them. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we see is the travel card. This must point to something that was perhaps reoccurring in the relationship. Since Kobe was a pro athlete, he had to travel a lot for games, and so this could be indicating that was either a hurdle in the relationship or that was a norm that they had grown accustomed to, that may have been why they lasted for so long. He or she was able to understand and respect the fact that he would have to travel for work a lot. Oh, imprisonment. Yikes. So someone must have felt stuck in that relationship, or maybe there were some legal issues that someone was trying to avoid or mask by staying in the relationship. Yikes, I did not expect to see that card. Ah, the veil has been lifted. So there must have been some sort of deception or illusion where someone pretended to be a version of themselves that is not the truth, and the veil has been lifted. Since it's in reverse, it's like now that Kobe is not here to either balance or to create a certain structure or a certain expectation, it seems like maybe Vanessa is, because this to me looked like a feminine. It seems like maybe Vanessa is or was a different version of herself when he's around versus when he's not around. Let's get more information, because there is a follow-up question specifically about Vanessa Bryant, since she did not have the best relationship with Kobe's parents. And then after Kobe passed away, we found out that she also had a bit of a dispute with her own mother. And at some point you start to kind of look at Vanessa a little questionable in terms of, well, how could you not get along with both sets of parents? So we'll pull some cards out to see what what the cards can say about Vanessa, but this card is kind of pointing in the direction of what is assumed about her and we'll see more about that in the second reading. Okay, actual money. So something negative about money since this card is in reverse. So maybe there was a lot of overspending in that relationship, or that was important part of what incentivized. I don't want to speak like the stereotypes, but Vanessa really probably wanted to maintain her relationship with Kobe because of this lifestyle, because of his position in the world of sports and basketball, since he is one of the greats. And so she was probably hooked into him, latched onto him. No matter what happens in this relationship, we're staying married. I don't want anyone else to get the money, or there's something negative about the money. And I did just mention that one of the issues that we're going to be looking into in the second reading on Vanessa is about some dispute that she had with her mom, and something about money, like the mom was looking for money or claiming that she didn't get paid for nanny services or something. We'll look into that, but not surprised to see something in these early cards that indicate something about duplicitous persona or images not being as they seem with Vanessa. Like behind the scenes, she's probably a different person, with this idea of veil being taken off, and something about money, either materialism or greed or something manipulative here. Then we have, oh yikes, ritual card in reverse. So this is an extension of this idea of manipulation, but this could be spiritual manipulation. If someone was trying to do, I don't want to say black magic, but just trying to keep someone hooked with this imprisonment card and this ritual card in reverse, meaning making a negative spiritual plea in order to keep someone attached in a relationship. It could be candle magic, it could be prayers, it could be something else, a ritual, a habit of trying to keep this person locked down and stuck and trapped. I'm a little surprised to see these cards, but I'm not blown back, because there has already been question marks and speculation about what Vanessa's really like behind the scenes, or what her motives may have been. And we're seeing right after this ritual card, we're seeing divination also in reverse. So yeah, there's something here about like either prayers or black magic, or something in that relationship was very spiritually manipulated, which I didn't see that coming, but it does kind of track if this is a person that was deceptive and was focused on trying to make sure that they anchor themselves to someone that is successful and abundant. Then it seems like it's an at all costs kind of thing, where it's like, I'm going to literally pray, like PREY, pray on this person, but also pray and light the candles and say the ritualistic chants or whatever to try to make sure that this guy's not going anywhere, that he's mine forever. But, sorry. This is, by the way, no facts, no truth, just tarot and oracle cards. So this is just what the cards are saying. All things alleged, no facts. Oh, karma. Jeez. So after these cards, which I was trying to downplay them, but if I could just be plain, it seems like if Vanessa put black magic or darkness out there, it seems like it came back to her in the form of karma. You lost this guy that you were trying to keep hooked or anchored. You lost him because of the karma of whatever you were doing to stay attached at all costs, and whatever spiritual things, whatever prayers you were doing, whatever rituals you were doing to try to keep him to yourself, especially keep the money to yourself and to your your family in terms of your kids, because it's certainly not your mom. You're dealing with the karma of that, because whatever energy is put out there, it's always going to come back. So her losing Kobe in this way may have been karma. I'm sorry to say it that way. Just alleged, no facts, no truth, just tarot. But I've never seen a lineup of cards like this. I can't deny that it seems to be a cycle. Like you kind of you lost what you were trying to hook onto, is what it's trying to say spiritually, of course. Negative thoughts with this thoughts card in reverse. Let me see if I could just pull out several cards at once. There's a lack of alignment, High Priestess. Yeah, I think I actually want to switch decks. Not surprised to see jealous and envy. A hard time with the ending. So yeah, lack of alignment, which I was actually going to say. Lack of chakra alignment, which if you are using spiritual magic to try to keep someone hooked, then that means you yourself are operating against what's in alignment. Instead of getting yourself in alignment for what's for you, you're trying to go against that. And that, of course, is always going to backfire and blow up in your face. Then we have the High Priestess card, which is, again, indicating that someone is indeed tapped in with some sort of spiritual efforts. The endings card in reverse. So you didn't want it to end, or it ended negatively, which we, unfortunately, as I discussed in the intro portion of this reading, we lost Kobe way too soon in that devastating helicopter crash. And then we end with this jealous and envy card, indicating that while someone may have been jealous and envious, maybe they lost out on whatever it is that they were pursuing. I want to switch decks here because it felt a little challenging energetically, in terms of maybe because I didn't expect to see these kinds of cards. So it's always nice to test a second deck to see if there's any consistency in the messaging, because sometimes it could be that my energy is impacted too. So let's see what a second deck of cards says. Let me actually get these up. Okay. Okay, is this where it was? Oh, I think it was like this. Bear with me, I just want to get everything visually pretty again. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. Whoa. Okay. Oh, wow. That's why my rings keep sliding all over the place. That's why I'm having a hard time shuffling. All right, let me just do this. Boom. There we go. Spirit, what can you tell me about the dynamic between the legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant and his surviving wife, Vanessa Bryant? Spirit, tell me about the true dynamic between Kobe and Vanessa. Let's get a few cards out for Kobe and Vanessa. What? Intellectual theft? No way. This is as if someone's trying to steal someone's IP, like intellectual property. But any assets of Kobe's is, of course, going to go to his surviving wife. So that is a little off. Let's see if the cards that come out after can clarify. What? Stalker? Wait, what's it say? Stalker, spy, surveillance, invasion of privacy. It was in reverse. That's weird, because when you're dealing with whoever you're married to, I mean, let me just pull out more cards before I interpret that, because it could mean that she was keeping an eye on him for something else, since we did see in the cards in the previous cards, something about rituals and possible spiritual work, like dark spiritual work. So destiny, fate, future, karma. Wow. So we are once again seeing this idea of karma, negative karma, coming out in a reading between Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. Spiritual gifts. So negative spiritual work. Oh my goodness. I've been trying to downplay all this spiritual stuff, but is Vanessa Bryant a witch, allegedly? No facts, no truth, just tarot. I'm just reading the cards. I've never seen a reading with so many cards to indicate something about someone that's trying to manipulate things spiritually, manipulate the energy with rituals and prayer and candle magic and whatever else. There's something here that happened in between Kobe and Vanessa that backfired. Spiritual manipulation, and there's some darkness to it. Caution, warning, danger. Someone ignored the signs. Someone ignored the signs that something or someone wasn't good for them. Exposure, bear reveal. Ooh, yikes. Did Kobe come to learn that Vanessa is a certain way, or will Vanessa eventually be exposed? We'll see more about specifically Vanessa in the next reading, but what? Game over, ending, completion. No, I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking right now. There's no way should I say it? Was he a sacrifice? Allegedly, just reading the cards with all of this foundation of spiritual this, spiritual that. If you're doing your spiritual rituals and trying to keep someone attached to you and benefit from their gifts and their abundance and the wealth, the recognition that they're going to have because of who they were or who they are, and keeping yourself attached to them, does that mean you have to sacrifice them too? I'm not in that world, so I don't know if that's true or how that works. But to see this idea of you have to end someone's life because they came to learn of you, I highly doubt that. I mean, it seemed, I don't want to speak about, it's hard for me to say what oh, yikes. Every woman loves their children, and I don't think that Vanessa would volunteer to sacrifice her child in order to gain something with her husband. I think that helicopter accident was a tragedy, and most likely these cards are just wrong, but I just have to read what comes out. Yeah, fear in reverse. So yeah, okay. You know what? Let's just leave this. Ooh, yikes. What? Last two cards I'm going to accept here. We have this charlatan card, someone who is deceptive, someone who's a fraud. And after we saw that veil card in the earlier reading for Kobe and Vanessa Bryant, that is reinforcing this idea that someone is not who someone thought that they were, and then that was revealed, and then they were deleted, and then someone no longer had to be fearful of this information getting out, but there's still some guilt, remorse, and regret because I lost too much. What I'm hearing is I lost too much in that situation. So I'm leaving a lot of blanks for you all to fill in because I'm not going to say all that I'm seeing and feeling. And this is a little too, it's getting a little dark. So I don't even want to continue with this reading, but we can switch to, wait a second, let me just see what this says. Rejection, abandonment, deserting, left behind, pretending to be a role model. Okay. We can switch to a reading on Vanessa Bryant. Let's switch decks here and see what the cards have to say about Vanessa. Woo! Did not expect to see those cards for Kobe and Vanessa. So let's just assume that they are wrong, and let's remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Kuchunga. I don't think that there was a sacrifice there because I think that they really loved their kids, and, you know, I'm not even going to touch it no more because those cards got me a little shook. I'm not touching that. All right. Spirit, what can you... Well, hold on. Let me just do one of these. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about Vanessa Bryant, Spirit? According to the Googler... Hold on. Let me just pull up some additional information here. According to the Googler, Vanessa Bryant's relationship with Kobe's parents, Joe and Pamela Bryant, was estranged for years, primarily stemming from their disapproval of her marriage to Kobe in 2001, resulting in their absence from the wedding. The rift deepened in 2013 when his parents attempted to auction his memorabilia. So that's what it says here. And then I was just letting you guys see a few more details because I'm not going to be reading all that. I read some of it earlier. Now, also, Vanessa's relationship with her own mother is also strained after some financial disputes that happened later that same year of Kobe's passing in 2020. So it says that Vanessa had a strained and contentious relationship with her mother, Sophia, culminating in a lawsuit in 2020 where Vanessa's mom, Sophia, demanded $5 million, alleging that she worked unpaid as a nanny assistant. Vanessa countered that her mother was trying to extort a financial windfall, calling the suit disgraceful, and affirmed that she had supported her mother for 20 years. The suit was settled in 2021. The mother also claimed eviction. Hold on. There we go. The mother also claimed eviction, and although the legal battle was settled, it seems that they remained estranged. Reports indicate a long-standing, complicated relationship that soured significantly after the tragic passing of Kobe and Gianna Bryant. Now that's really sad because you would think that after such a big loss, that is a time that you would most need your nuclear family, your parents, your siblings, whatever is a part of your foundation. But it seems like Vanessa never really had a great relationship with her mom and definitely didn't have a relationship with Kobe's parents. So I wonder what the cards can tell us about Vanessa, because something about that information is a bit eyebrow raising. So let's see, Spirit, what can you tell me about Vanessa Bryant? Let's get some cards out about Vanessa Bryant. Okay. Okay, something about the past with this Six of Cups. This could be nostalgia. This could be familiarity. This could be favorable memories from the past that someone wants to recreate or lock into. But wait a second. It came out like this. So is that negative? I think this actually was supposed to be in reverse. So something negative about the past, which could usually be in someone's childhood or in someone's upbringing with Vanessa Bryant. Then we have this Four of Wands upright, which indicates stability, celebrations. So this is about household, marriage, celebrating with one's loved ones. It seems like something about her relationship and marriage to Kobe may have been very healing for her based off of whatever Vanessa experienced in her past, in her childhood. And a reminder, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. So then we have the Fool, starting fresh, new start, adventure, no baggage. So maybe Vanessa felt like she got a new fresh start in her marriage, like she got to recreate something that she was maybe missing in her childhood and enjoy her life more than she did in the past, perhaps, allegedly, based off of these cards. Three of Wands, interesting. We saw that earlier in one of the other readings between Kobe and Vanessa. So this Three of Wands indicating growth and expansion. So she felt that she could grow with him, and that chapter in her life, being married to Kobe, was essential for her to step into her better and higher self based off of these cards. Okay, oh, the Lover card. So yeah, they were meant to be together. They were destined to be together, and that's a much more positive card to see, contrasting the few that we just saw in the previous readings on her relationship to Kobe. Now that we're seeing just from the perspective of Vanessa, it seems like she felt that Kobe was meant for her. So that's nice to see. Yeah, these are positive cards. Judgment upright, indicating that you are following your purpose, stepping into what you think you are meant to be doing in this lifetime. So it seems like her marriage, her being a wife and mother, brought her purpose and happiness. And she felt that she was able to overwrite whatever she had experienced in her past or in her childhood with her family, or whatever challenges she experienced growing up. Queen of Wands upright. She felt confident, courageous, charming. She just felt like she was her best self having him by her side. So this is positive. Okay. Eight of Cups, but she had to walk away from something that was meaningful, which obviously is not easy. Easier said than done when you spend a lot of years working on something, building with something or someone. Then, hi, sweet butter baby, welcome. Seven of Swords, yikes. This is about a thief, someone that lies, cheats, and steals. And then we have the Queen of Cups. This is someone that's very codependent or emotionally withdrawn. Someone that either overgave emotionally and then now needs to cut it off, or someone that is too needy in a relationship, too codependent. Two of Wands, that's a very common card tonight. Someone that is lacking the planning and the preparation needed to advance with some plans. I'm not really feeling these cards energetically. I mean, I'm not really seeing the story that it's meant to tell. So yeah, she very much enjoys motherhood, as I was saying earlier on in the cards with this Empress card. Motherhood is something that she feels very fulfilled in, or fulfilled with. Oh, what was that? So many options with the Seven of Cups. Did that fall out from the bottom of this? Okay, Seven of Cups reversed. So too many options or making bad choices. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So this is about someone that is not making the best decisions around money, wealth, business, finances. And based off of what we said in the intro about the disputes that Vanessa had with her mom and the estrangement that she has from Kobe's parents, I would say that this card is accurate in identifying that perhaps Vanessa is indeed greedy and selfish and materialistic in terms of the way that she manages or distributes the financials and what's left in Kobe's estate. Not that there's, when I say what's left, I mean because they're surviving him. He has passed, the late great Kobe Bryant, and not surprised, but I wonder if maybe I should have shuffled a little more, but I'm going to leave it there, and we can always revisit another reading on Vanessa Bryant or the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant in the future. I wonder who was this lying, cheating, and stealing about. maybe that could have been someone that did it to her, or if she was doing that to others. But that last card at the end there was telling. All right, let's move on to the next reading. Oh, something for the Swifties. Let's dive into a reading on pop sensation Taylor Swift and her fiance Travis Kelce, who is a pro football player on the Kansas City Chiefs. And he is one of the best tight ends in NFL history. Oh, wow. That's why it's so hard to shuffle without looking. Let me do that again. It's actually easier when I do it sideways. Yeah, like this. Just prep this deck because there's been a lot of repeat cards tonight. Okay, let me restart this intro. Something for the Swifties. Let's dive into a reading on the engaged couple you all asked me to cover the most on this channel. Pop superstar Taylor Swift and her fiance Travis Kelce. Ooh, that's a nice picture. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, looks like they were making out here. Oh, no, I didn't mean to open it. I was just trying to zoom in. My mouse hasn't been working properly tonight, so I guess I can't. Come on, come on. Yeah, the hair is funky. The lipstick is smudged, so it seems like they were having a hot makeout session. So, Taylor Swift, the pop sensation, her fiance, Travis Kelce, who is a pro football player on the Kansas City Chiefs and one of the best tight ends in NFL history. They announced their engagement last summer in August 2025 after 2 years of dating, and I've done a few readings on them on my channel, which I will link here for those of you that will watch the VOD later. But it did not seem very promising. Whatever came out in those readings did not indicate that this was the right relationship for Taylor. But it doesn't hurt to take another look because energy can always change since people have free will and can redirect their life at any time. So let's do a reading on your girl, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Just remove this. Ooh, Sweet Butter Baby has a question. Will Taylor ever pass Mariah Carey in terms of #1 singles? Interesting. I can definitely do a reading on that, Sweet Butter Baby. That's interesting. So first, let's see what's coming for Taylor Allison Swift, who's 36. She's a Sagittarius. And Travis Michael Kelce this year, Spirit. Will they make it down the aisle or something else? Let's see what the cards have to say about Taylor and Travis, Spirit. What's to come for Taylor Swift? The Swifties want to know. I get so many messages from the Swifties wanting updates. Can we get an update? Where's the update? You guys got to give energy a chance to develop, guys. We always need a bit of time in between readings because we got to give the energy some time to change, to grow, to allow the cards to say something different. So I don't know if these came out sideways or in reverse, but in case they come back out, we got the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. I'm actually going to shuffle again. And then we will pull cards because this deck has been a little funky all night. I mean, it is a newer one, so maybe it's just because I'm still getting connected to the deck. So I feel a bit hesitant or uncertain about some of the cards that I'm seeing. Okay. But I'll try again because I really love the colors and it feels really cute in my hands. Really comfortable to maneuver with this deck. So trying to break it in and hopefully get some good messages from this. So Spirit, what can you tell me about Taylor Swift and her fiance Travis Kelce, Spirit? Will they make it down the aisle this year? Or what else is to come for them? Oh, okay. So we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. This indicates delays, setbacks. There's some obstruction to whatever plans they were trying to get underway. This could excuse me, let me get some water here. This could also indicate frustration because of the delays, things not going at a pace that one would like, or something negative about the pace. So maybe things are moving too fast to where it is contributing to things not going well. But ultimately, it seems like the wedding itself may be delayed. It may have to be pushed back further than what they had anticipated. Okay, Six of Swords in reverse. Yikes. So someone is having a hard time leaving something traumatic behind. There is a need to move on to better waters, calmer waters, something sunnier and more positive, and leaving behind toxicity and conflicts, drama, anything that is weighing someone down. But since this card came out in reverse, this indicates that either the drama and toxicity itself keeps dragging someone back. So this is like wounds reopening, or it could be that someone is keeping themselves in a bad situation. In this case, it could be someone keeping themselves in a toxic relationship. Yikes. And so that's why there's frustration that the pace or the flow of the relationship is not as one wanted or as one hoped. Yikes. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I think this came out in the first reading that I did on Travis and Taylor as well. This is about bad luck. This is misfortune. This is fate and karma that is not positive. So there may be a lot of external forces that contribute to Taylor and Travis not getting married as quickly or as soon as they would have liked. There's another question here. I wonder, what did Taylor get for Valentine's? Interesting. You Swifties, let me know in the chat, because I haven't seen any updates of Taylor in a while. Did they go out? Did they have like any public outing for Valentine's? Taylor and Travis is who we're reading right now. So I'm wondering if maybe the Swifties know more than I do, because you guys know what pages your girl updates or whatever. So let us know in the comments. All right, let's continue with this reading. Ooh, someone is not listening to their inner voice with this High Priestess card in reverse. So I'm led to believe that it's Taylor again, since we're seeing a feminine here, feminine energy that is not her female intuition. So Taylor is not trusting her gut, because her gut might be saying that this is not something you should be moving forward with in terms of this relationship or this person, or maybe just this timing. She's not listening to whatever signs, whatever external forces may be trying to show her about that relationship or that timing. So let's see. Okay, Page of Cups. So this is someone that is maybe a bit of a daydreamer. So they are somewhat immature and looking at things with a naivete where there is hope that everything will turn out well, and there is this creative, artistic energy and this excitement about a new love. This is someone who's very curious about the possibility of something, but they're not really based in reality, and that is coming from some level of immaturity with this Page of Cups. So maybe I'm sighing because of all the other readings that I've already done on Taylor, and I did one on Travis to see how Travis feels about Taylor. It seems like this card is saying that Taylor is going for the potential instead of the reality. So she maybe thinks that Travis could be checking all these boxes for her. She likes the look, she likes what it could be, but she's ignoring what it really is, which seems like maybe, if I remember correctly in the reading that I did on Travis, there was a lack of passion and there was maybe different motives. Travis has a different motive than Taylor does with this relationship. So she may be naive and ignoring the reality to try to get to this finish line or this version of what she thinks she could turn this into. She may be overlooking a lot of flaws or a lot of signs that indicate that this is not the guy that she should move forward with. But again, this is for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth. Just tarot. So let's continue seeing what the cards say for Taylor and Travis. Okay, we're seeing another page here, Page of Pentacles. This is a youthful energy of someone that is ambitious, someone that wants to take advantage of some financial opportunity. So we are once again seeing this idea of immaturity. Since we have these two pages back to back, the immaturity from Taylor is causing her to look at this relationship in a dreamy way instead of a realistic way. And Travis's immaturity is causing him to look at this relationship in terms of the value that can be extracted from it instead of actually how realistic it is for the long run. Like, is this something really grounding? Are you putting in the work for this to be a everlasting, long-lasting love? And it seems like both sides have a lot of work to do still and have two different goals or motives in this relationship. So that's not really a good match. The Hierophant. Okay. So this could indicate marriage. The Hierophant is usually a religious figure, but this could also indicate group identity, community, network. So it could indicate that they want to move forward with this marriage because of what it looks like publicly, of what their fan bases may either expect from them or want for them, or because they've already announced this to the public, made it so public, they feel that they should go along with where they think they should be at in life at this time, which is maybe they or one of them thinks that they should be married. We've been together for so long. We've already put the rings on. We've already announced the engagement. We should move forward and just get married anyway. So it seems like there may still be some persistence, some determination to make it down the aisle, even if there are signs that it may not be the best pairing, the best idea, but they may indeed come before a priest or some figure that may marry them with this Hierophant card because they want to keep up appearances. And I believe that that's what I saw in my first reading on Taylor and Travis as well when they first got engaged. Three of Cups reversed. So this could indicate that external forces, which we also saw here, temptations, external forces, community, network, people from the outside giving their input on this relationship may have a negative impact on Taylor and Travis's relationship. Unfortunately, also when we see the Three of Cups in a love reading, it does indicate that there may be a third party, there may be infidelity, there may be a third wheel, allegedly. No facts, no truth, just tarot. That's just what the cards are saying. So there either already is infidelity or there is a desire to explore one's options with this Three of Cups, or maybe someone is still too social, putting themselves in these environments or situations that are not aligned with someone that is committed and settling down. So even if you're not actually cheating, you may be living a life like you're still a bachelor or still a bachelorette and exposing yourselves to temptation, to options, to allowing someone to maybe take a picture of you with other people. And it could look bad even if you're not doing anything, but I'm sorry to say, based on the past readings, it seems like there is a desire for more, and a desire for more in terms of not being happy with who you're in this relationship with and wanting to explore options. So seeing that Three of Cups in reverse again is not surprisingly, unfortunately, it's not surprising, unfortunately, but oh no, the Death card. So there will need to be an ego death. So the end of the version of oneself that got them into the situation in order for them to step into the newer and better stage of their lives. This transformation is necessary, and it will require someone in this relationship. Hi, we're doing a reading on Travis and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Chicken ham. Nice to see you. So I hate to say it, but it looks like even if they do get married, it will come to an end because either one of them or both of them will outgrow that relationship and step into the reality that this doesn't work for me. This is not what I wanted. I want to see other people, or I want to be with someone that is more passionate about me, or I'm different now. This transformation of releasing the version of yourself that you were that got you in this relationship and stepping into the smarter version, the better version, the heightened version is going to come down the line. I don't know if it's going to come after the wedding, after the actual marriage. It would be, of course, better if they could come to this realization before, but let's hope the cards are wrong. Let's hope that it's just a bad shuffle. But I must say it's been pretty consistent with the other readings that I've gotten on her. So I know a lot of you Swifties are just wishing that Taylor could maybe see the readings and get the message, but it seems like it's a life experience that she's going to have to go through on her own in order to learn some lesson that allows her to step into a better version of herself. So as determined as she may be with this Chariot card, and as far as they may take it with a actual marriage, perhaps, it seems like ultimately things will come to an end. I actually wanted to just look at the bottom of the decks to finish off. 5 of Wands, so conflict and competition. 6 of Pentacles, financial exchange, yeah. So she's going to be tired of fighting off whatever other floozies he might be entertaining with this 5 of Wands, this idea of competition and conflict. And this 6 of Pentacles indicates some sort of financial exchange where the person with abundance is giving to the person in need. But when we see this scale indicating the scales of justice and fairness, it feels like a legal situation. You're paying someone to get out of this legal situation, which we would assume is a marriage. And I did see this theme in the cards previously as well. So completely new deck, completely new shuffle. We're so many months away from when I first did that engagement reading, and yet we're seeing a lot of the same themes in these cards, that Taylor may be very stubborn and determined to move forward with this marriage, but in the end she will realize that it's not for her and she may have to pay a bit to get out of that situation. So I wish her well. I wish she could learn the lesson without having to pay too much, not only paying with money, but paying with time, paying with your effort, paying with your pain. I hope that Taylor could prioritize herself and not feel like she has to save face and she has to go through with a wedding just because she already publicly announced an engagement, if the guy's not for her. Of course, these cards were just for entertainment. No facts, no truth, just tarot. And she herself can maybe make a better assessment of who this person is in her life, if they're worth making it work with. So good luck to her and Travis. Oh, and there was another question here about, will Travis Kelce retire? Interesting. Let me actually switch decks for that. That is definitely an interesting question to ask. Okay. Give it one good shuffle. Okay. My rings are sliding all over the place, so I've been having a hard time shuffling tonight. Okay. Ow. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. This deck is so stiff because some water fell on it a few months ago, and I haven't replaced it because I'm already connected to this deck, you know? I love this deck and I get really good readings from it, so it's unfortunate that it got a little damaged, but I'm still trying to make it work because I don't want to sever my connection with this one and replace it with a new one and have to reconnect, you know? I'm already doing that with this deck, and you've seen I've been a little thrown off all night, so it's nice to go to my old faithful. So, Spirit, will Travis Kelce retire? His teammate quarterback Patrick Mahomes suffered a serious season-ending knee injury, which will carry over into the following season. They also won several Super Bowl victories together. So speculation is that Mahomes may be sitting out the season, which might be a factor in Kelce's decision to retire. So let's do a reading, pulling a few cards to see, will Travis Kelce retire, Spirit? Let's see what the cards have to say on, will Travis Kelce retire from the NFL? Even if temporarily, because we've seen other football players retire and then come back. So let's see if that is on Travis Kelce's mind, since there has been a lot of rumors and speculation that he indeed may retire. Spirit, let's get a few cards out. Ooh, the Tower card in reverse. So there is a resistance to some disaster, averting disaster, resistance to change, a fear of change. Let's see where this is going. We have, oh, the Lovers card. So he really loves this team. But I wonder if that is something that you still want to preserve in terms of you love the team or you love the teammate. Because this could also represent that he really loves working with Mahomes, and that may influence how much he actually loves the team. So let's get some clarification on that too. Ooh, Two of Cups reversed. So a situation that is no longer mutually beneficial, leading to a breakup or a severing of some deal coming to an end and things not working for both sides anymore. So we're seeing duality in both of these cards, which again, the original context was that the relationship that Travis has with his teammate Patrick Mahomes may indeed play a big role in him deciding if he will stay on the team or not. And it seems like yes, because he really enjoys what Patrick Mahomes contributes to the team, which allows him to also be his best self on that team. He may feel like, if Patrick's not there, I'm not going to be there. So I will step away from the team, even if temporarily. Yikes. This is the end of a contract, the end of a deal. And avoiding a disaster, meaning maybe Travis feels like if I play this season without Mahomes, then it will not go well. We will not make it as far as we have in the past. I believe they have 3 Super Bowls that they won. So avoiding the disaster, avoiding that potential loss may be a priority to Travis, and that's why he may actually say, let me step away from the team for now, since I feel like my winning chances are with a team that has Patrick Mahomes. Let's get one more card out. Oh, yeah, giving up the fight. The 7 of Wands reverse indicates that one may decide that it is not worth the fight. It's not worth it for me to get out on that field and try to get the W by myself, which of course there's a whole team. It's not by myself, but he may feel like Mahomes is indeed such an essential part of the team that he doesn't even want to give it a chance without him. So wait, what did I see here? That was a 7 of Cups, indicating he may have a lot of different options. And this indicates work-life conflict with the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. Bottom of the decks. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wow. So, yeah. Strong cards indicating that indeed Travis Kelce may retire. He has other options with this 7 of Cups, maybe better options, or he believes that there's an illusion of better options or other things that he wants to do. It doesn't have to be other teams. This could be other passions, other priorities. Let's not is currently engaged to pop star sensation Taylor Swift that he may eventually marry. So that may be something that he wants to prioritize, because the Suit of Cups is about feelings, emotions, love, intuition. So he may want to prioritize something in his personal life or some other ventures. I think he was doing a podcast at some point. We saw that he did some GQ stuff around the time that he announced the engagement with Taylor. So he may take a break from football, not necessarily going to another team, taking a break altogether in order to focus on some other priorities. And we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the Queen of Pentacles indicates work-life conflict. So there's an imbalance between your prioritization of your work versus your personal life, which is why he might want to take more time for his personal life and other ventures. But this also indicates someone that's either suffocating or nagging, meaning there may be some clinginess, and this could also indicate materialism. Someone may be materialistic. I wonder, does this mean that he just wants to relax and go spend his money? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're just getting all these championships and racking up all these rings, eventually you just want to go and enjoy your success. But since it's in reverse, there's something negative about that materialism, that prioritization of spending and not necessarily being the most responsible for the long run. Then we have this Four of Cups reversed, indicating that you may be over something. You're moving on. You're no longer receptive to whatever the universe may be offering you, but it could have something to do with an emotional connection. So moving on from this relationship with someone or something that once meant something to you, something of value. So that's another card that could indicate that he would step away from the team because he may need a break from that. He may be over it. And the King of Wands, someone who wants to step into their leadership roles and entrepreneurism. So Travis may have some creative ideas that he wants to explore, and that is a part of where he wants to invest his money and see some ideas come to life or step into this space of enjoying this role of a fatherly figure, being the owner of something. It seems like he wants to switch things up. So yes, these cards indicate that Travis Kelce may indeed retire in this coming season. Let's see what actually happens. You guys keep me posted on what we see. And by the way, I saw the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Swords at the bottom of this deck as well. So this is a reinforcer of moving on from something that no longer serves him and some sort of conflicts, which it could be internal conflicts, but this could be playing dirty, Yes, I didn't forget. I'll do it right after this. This could indicate someone playing dirty to win at all costs and being petty. So I wonder if this is maybe some conflicts in his personal life, or maybe indicating some sort of selfishness in his decision making that may leave a bad taste in the mouth of the team or something. We will see what these cards really mean. Okay, let's see. Yes, Sweet Butter Baby, let's look at your inquiry about Taylor. Hey, where'd it go? I don't see the question anymore. Okay, will Taylor ever pass Mariah Carey in terms of #1 singles? That's a fun question. Let's pull out this deck. Pull out a few cards from here. Ooh, just shuffle that again. These rings are not letting me shuffle properly. Let me do it one more time. Okay. Take what I can get here. All right, let me see the question again. Scrolling up. All right. Will Taylor Swift ever pass Mariah Carey in terms of #1 singles, Spirit? Will Taylor Swift ever pass Mariah Carey in terms of #1 singles? So where are they at right now, Sweet Butter Baby? How many do each of those awesome ladies have? How far away from Mariah Carey is Taylor Swift? Because I thought Michael Jackson was also at the top of that list. The Emperor in reverse. Ooh, this could be a no card, but I'll pull a few more cards just to see, because the Emperor in reverse indicates that something's going wrong with business, not necessarily specifically with one person's business, but the industry overall. There is something that is not structured. So it could be that there may be some unfairness in the way that they call it, the way that they quantify number one singles now versus the way that they did back when Mariah Carey was all in the charts back in the 90s. Let's get a few more cards out. Seven of Cups. Ooh, many choices, many options. So I feel like this is an extension of what I was just saying, that there's so many different ways to create that metric. There's many different ways to quantify the singles these days, now that there are different forms of media circulation. Back then it was just albums and radio, and now there's streaming and iTunes, different ways that people get their music. So thus far, the cards seem to be indicating that there's an uneven way to call it. There's something different in the industry, and there is a way to say, yes, each of them are better than the other in terms of number one singles, depending on where you look with that Seven of Cups, because it's giving the idea that there's so many options. There's so many different ways. Billboard could call it this way, but then Spotify could call it this way, but then whoever does the global albums could call it that way. Actual physical albums versus the bundles versus the digital. Seems like it's a yes and a no so far. Oh, Ace of Swords, dishonesty. So this is reinforcing this idea that I felt about this first card, indicating some manipulation in the industry, or definitely some changes, but like negative changes in the industry that would not allow it to be called fairly. And then we have Four of Swords. So this is usually about someone needing to rest because of the impact of some stress. But I guess in this reading, rest meaning maybe Taylor will take a break from music for a while, or oh no, I hope this is not true. Mariah Carey may pass away. Alleged, for entertainment purposes only, no facts, no truth, just tarot, and I hope that's not true. But this could be saying, because the great Mariah Carey may rest in peace whenever she either retires, so that could also be what the rest is. But for whatever reason, I got this message that, I got RIP when I was looking at this card. Maybe because she either is no longer in the industry because of retiring, because of resting, or because of literally resting in peace. She will no longer be putting the output that would compete with Taylor. Taylor is still young enough to continue throwing so much music out there, and she's the best at selling the bundles and repackaging the same album and still getting oodles and boodles of sales. So it could indicate that, as unfair as it may be, yes, Taylor may technically be able to get more number one singles than Mariah. She will surpass her because Mariah will no longer be putting that output. So I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to see anything bad about Mariah. I love her. I hope that she stays with us many more years. I especially love that in recent years, in this past year really, we saw a lot of flowers being given to Mariah, and she's got all the, sorry, let me just process this mentally. Nine of Cups, Four of Cups. Yeah, I'm going to actually leave this reading here. I love that we saw her get many of her flowers this year, getting recognized for her amazing voice. They did a tribute to her a few weeks ago, which wasn't that great. But then again, it goes to show how great Mariah's voice was, because there were not many people that were able to recreate the beautiful songs that she wrote for herself, and they did not sound good. It did not sound good at that tribute. But the gesture was nice. The fact that they want to honor her, the fact that they recognize that Mariah is such a great voice and a great contributor to the world of music. It's a long time coming, and I'm glad that she is still around to enjoy receiving her flowers. But yes, it seems like indeed. Oh, there's another question. Hi, Skegga. What about Taylor and Travis? I hope they don't get married only because I really don't think I can survive another I Love Travis album. Showgirl was terrible. Yes, that seems to be the shared sentiment amongst the Swifties, is that that was such a terrible album, and yet 4 million plus sold. So the reading that I did on Taylor about how she felt about the backlash of the album seemed to indicate that she was unbothered because she did what she had to do in terms of satisfying her album quota requirements and getting the coins, getting the money. So you Swifties have to speak with your money on this next album. If you don't like it, don't buy it, because it's hard to cry when you're selling the most albums that anyone's ever sold in a long time. And that, of course, is only going to encourage her to do more of that kind of melodramatic music. I tried to listen to it, and I didn't really find anything that I had to hear again on that album, but I just figured it's just not my kind of music. So I didn't think much of it, but it is a repeating critique that many Swifties have, that they're not a fan of her latest album. But to conclude, Sweet Butter Baby, for your question, as you saw with these cards, it seems like, yes, Taylor will technically get either as many number ones as Mariah, or will surpass her, because Mariah is either going to retire or rest in peace, and she will not be putting as much output as Taylor will be for the near future. So let's move into the next question we have for tonight. Oh, I already know her and Travis won't last. So this is Skegga in the comments, you guys. I already know her and Travis won't last, no matter if they get married or not. I just don't want more weak music. Travis is not a good muse for her. Yes. Usually when artists are in pain, that's some of their best music, right? I don't know what happened with the Taylor one, because the fans are not loving it. Maybe she's too busy to really make her, maybe it has to be the pain music, because the happy music, while she's actually enjoying her connection with Travis, while she's actually enjoying the development of that relationship, it's like she's not really doing her best, putting her best into the work. Usually the heartbreak music is what the fans love, not specifically about Taylor, but in general in the music industry. So we'll see. If they don't last, maybe you'll get a better album, Skegga. Maybe it'll work out for you. Sweet Butter Baby said, another reader said Taylor made some sinister deal with a witch for success. Yikes, is that true? Whoa. We will have to see what happens with that, because Taylor has a really unbelievable, unprecedented amount of success and fame, and I would chalk that up to her relatability. She has a fan base that finds her very relatable, and they see themselves in her, and they've followed her journey, her growth in music from the time that she was young with her guitar, and then she, did the whole red lip, and she had to especially deal with criticism. That Kanye moment was very pivotal in her career, I believe, to really catapult her into super fame, because she was from that point on seen as maybe an underdog, and she has a very large group of supporters. Her fan base is unbelievable. It's hard to believe that an album that they don't even like would sell 4 million. Most artists can barely break 100,000 in sales, no matter what genre it is, because the music space is so different now. So I'm not saying that she's a witch, but I am saying that her success is impressive and very rare to see in this music space. So if it does turn out that she got some spiritual help, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's like, wow, so super successful. Okay, Skegga says she can write love songs, but her album Showgirl proves she's not in love with Travis. I have 12 past albums to prove. Wow. So the writing, that is something that someone else said in the comments, actually, that something about the writing in the songs was not great. So I guess, you know, she's got to give her fans what they're used to from her, what they expect from her. All right, so keeping it football, let's switch into a reading on singer Normani and her NFL pro football fiance, since we just did a reading on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So, singer Normani and her NFL pro football player fiance DK Metcalf, who is currently, let me see if I can give you guys a zoom in picture, there we go, who is currently a wide receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They dated for roughly 3 years before announcing their engagement in March 2025. And interestingly enough, they were introduced by another popular singer-athlete couple, Ciara and Russell Wilson, who I'll actually be doing a reading on in my next stream, so stay tuned for that. Now, let's see what the cards have to say about Normani and DK. Full name is DeKaylin Zacharias Metcalf. Whoa, look at that. Taylor's popping up on this page too. Taylor's everywhere. Let's see what the cards have to say for Normani and DK. Normani Corday Hamilton, she is 29. She is a Gemini. And DeKaylin Zacharias Metcalf, he is 28. He is a Sagittarius. So we have fire and air. I think that's similar to Taylor and Travis. Taylor is also Sagittarius and Travis is a Libra. Libra and Gemini are both air signs. So let's see, Spirit, what can you tell me about Normani and DeKaylin, Spirit? Will they make it down the aisle? Will they get married this year? Will they get married ever? What's the truth about the dynamic in their relationship, Spirit? Let's get a few cards out for Normani and DK Metcalf, Spirit. Let's get some cards out. Okay, there we go. So, okay, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So this indicates that after one invests effort, resources, time, and feelings in something or someone, they are now left disappointed or impatient with the results. So they feel that their harvest is not blooming as fast as they would like, or it's not resulting in the bounty that they expected. Whatever it is that they planted, whatever seeds they planted and invested in, it's not reaping the benefits that they thought. So this is, sorry, my rings are falling, 1 second. This is about someone that is unsatisfied with the direction that their relationship is going in. They're not getting out of it what they thought they put into it. There's an imbalance. So maybe there is one person in this relationship that's overgiving or overtaking, or it's just not as fulfilling of a connection as they thought. This could also indicate that financially things may not be as fruitful as someone expected. Generally, there is something about impatience and a need for someone to reevaluate their plan when we see the Seven of Pentacles. So let's see what the next card says. Ooh, yikes. Six of Wands. This is about false success. So while someone may be putting up a brave face, keeping appearances, making it seem on the outside like everything's going good, like it's all good and all is well, behind the scenes, the relationship may indeed not be at the stage that one thinks it is. So this is about faking the funk. Someone may be pretending that the relationship is going good. This could also indicate, 1 second. Oh, that's not, okay. I'll be right back. Let me pause and restart because I'm dealing with some difficulties here. Grab a snack and come on back. See you soon. Testing audio. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so we were in the middle of a reading about Normani and her fiance, football player DK Metcalf. So the last card that we got here was the Six of Wands. And this indicated that there is a false image, a sense of false success. So there is an element of someone pretending in this relationship that things are going well externally, but behind the scenes, there is a disharmony, maybe some conflicts that they still need to work through. This card indicates that there are some failed efforts. So maybe there is one person in this relationship putting in more effort than the other, and they don't feel very recognized. So when I take it back to Seven of Pentacles, it's very similar to what this card was saying, that someone may be dissatisfied with the outcome of their efforts that they have poured into this relationship. I wonder if that is the female, Normani, or the guy, DK Metcalf. This could also say that maybe some concerns about the impact the relationship could do to one's image. So maybe they are keeping this appearance of healthy, happy union, of a healthy, happy relationship, to not deal with the potential impacts to their image and their brand. There may be some shame associated with this relationship not working out after making it public that they're engaged. So maybe there is some saving of face because of the truth behind the scenes, whereas all that we've known is that they had a very nice engagement and were put together by another seemingly successful couple, Ciara and Russell Wilson. So let's see what the following cards have to say. We see the Three of Pentacles. Anytime we see the Three of Pentacles or the Three of Cups in a love or relationship reading, it's never a good sign, because it sometimes suggests that there may be a third party. There may be someone entertaining affairs, or someone may be cheating. Someone may be flirting or fraternizing with someone outside of their relationship. This could also indicate that someone is being too social and not focused enough on the relationship and their commitment. So they may be claiming that they are engaged, claiming that they are committed to this person, while still fraternizing and socializing as if they're still a bachelor or a bachelorette. So let's see what the following cards say. The High Priestess in reverse. This is a very common card tonight, indicating that someone is not listening to their internal voice. Someone is ignoring their intuition, and sometimes that is the female intuition, but it could be for both feminine and masculine. There are some doubts that someone is casting on their gut. So their internal voice may be telling them one thing, their intuition may be guiding them to see a reality, while they're trying to ignore it and keep up a certain image because they don't want to deal with the potential damage to their reputation or their image and their brand. And it's about external validation when we see this card versus the need to be honest with yourself internally when we're seeing the High Priestess in reverse, as well as just the satisfaction or dissatisfaction that you're experiencing in your life by not getting what you're giving. So then we have the Six of Swords. We just saw this in the reading Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, that indicates that someone needs to step away from something that has grown toxic, or this could even be something that is traumatic that they need to move away from. This is also about travel, but in this situation, it could be that someone is feeling trauma bonded or trapped. Someone is very heavily attached to whatever these toxic elements or person can be, and they are going to stay in a hostile environment or a chaotic atmosphere if they do not find themselves a way to remove themselves from that. As valuable as this thing may be, as regrettable as it may be, the Six of Swords indicates a necessary departure from that person or that environment. So it seems like, unfortunately, so far in this reading, behind the scenes, the relationship between Normani and DK Metcalf is not that great. It seems like maybe they may be better off apart, and they may not make it down the aisle. But let's see what the following cards say. Gee, another card that we saw earlier tonight in the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce reading, the Eight of Wands. This is a frustration because of delays and setbacks in someone's plans. Things are not moving as fast as someone had hoped or expected, or it's not taken the direction that they wanted. This could also have something to do with travel. Since we're seeing these two cards back to back with travel, that may be an element in their relationship. Since DK Metcalf is a pro football player in the NFL, I guess he has to travel a lot for games. Maybe that distance is creating conflict in their relationship. Maybe that's hard for Normani to go for so many periods without consistency, without having him by her side. So that is leaving room for potential third parties or extramarital affairs, which maybe Normani has a hunch about that, but she's trying to keep a brave face, and she's trying to save face or keep a brave face for them not to have to wear the egg on the face about this engagement not panning out as a full-on marriage. So, and by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. So then we have the Hermit card, indicating that someone needs to be single. Someone needs to take some time alone to get the spiritual guidance and messages that will allow them to listen to their intuition and take the next steps necessary in their relationship or out of their relationship, whatever is best for themselves. They need to focus on themselves, but also this could literally mean you need to be single. You need to get out of this relationship. I'm really sad to see this because I think Normani had some challenges in her personal life with her parents' health challenges, or maybe I think one of her parents passed away. So, you know, the importance of creating a foundation, a stable, committed relationship and love and family foundation is probably a void that she really wants to fill. And so this relationship may have given her the indication that this would be that replacement or that fulfillment, but it seems to not be the case based off of these cards. Of course, the reality could be completely different, and I hope it is. I would love to see her truly enjoying love, and it did seem from the little bit of pictures that I saw that he seemed like he was like a Southern gentleman. I think they're both from the southern states of the United States. So let's see what the next card is. This is the Page of Pentacles, and this is about someone that is rather immature with their financial decisions. So this could indicate someone that is greedy financially, or this could be someone that is not putting in the work. And so we're seeing a repeat of the theme that we saw in those earlier cards, that someone may be blocking themselves from putting in as much effort or time or whatever investment is needed to make the relationship reciprocal and as good as it could be. It's once again given this idea of things being one-sided and dealing with someone that's immature and not willing to put in their fair share into a relationship if they're always traveling and doing their career stuff and you're left to do all the emotional labor and to be so adaptive. It may not be the most fulfilling for someone that is looking to spend the rest of their lives with that person. So these cards indicate that they may not make it down the aisle. Wait a second. This 10 of Cups is showing a happily ever after. This is the best card emotionally in the tarot deck. So maybe they will make it work. That threw me off because we have the avoidance of a disaster with this tower card in reverse. So maybe indeed they will make it work and get to this happily ever after. Let me just look at the bottom of the decks, because how do we get from here to this? Let's see. Oh, compassion, Page of Cups. Okay. So maybe there's an advisor or someone steps into their mature version. So this is usually a male leader or advisor that, let me get some water. Sorry, I've been choking since we came back from break. So the King of Cups is someone who is a really good leader, someone who is compassionate and considerate, and someone that is supportive, someone who is supportive of others. So perhaps DK changes things around in terms of developing more understanding for what he needs to give to this relationship in order to make it work, or what Normani's needs are. Or maybe there is an advisor that is helping to mentor them in this relationship, if they are maybe working with a therapist or a priest or someone that helps mediate between them and helps whoever is perhaps entertaining the extramarital or not being as considerate and focused on their own career, maybe they're able to develop more understanding and consideration and compassion through this mediator or mentor that's going to help them. And then they arrive at this happy family stage. But this Page of Cups also indicates the younger version of someone that is interested in new love, exploring this opportunity. So we got a mixed bag of cards here where while they may have some challenges, definitely some delays and setbacks, definitely some toxicity and trauma that one of them or both of them need to let go of. And maybe it's not even something to do with this relationship. Maybe this toxicity and trauma is something that someone is still trying to work through from a past relationship or from a past experience. This could even be the trauma from whatever Normani experienced with her parents. As I said, from what I remember, I thought that she had been supporting them through some health challenges and she may have lost one of her parents. Don't quote me. Go check and see what the Googler is saying. But that trauma may have affected her and pushed her into this relationship. And it seems like while there may be some hurdles, some challenges, they will eventually make it work and have this happily ever after. This is an aversion of disaster. That Tower card in reverse is them realizing that someone may have a fear of change, and it seems like they will get their act together. So good for them. I mean, I don't want to I would rather end on this good note, but I do have to also say that the last two cards here are the Lovers in reverse and the Three of Swords. So these are strong indicators that they are not destined to be together. And the Three of Swords is about heartbreak, breakup, possibly even divorce. Definitely some sort of disappointment, some sort of shocking loss and the impact of that taking a toll on someone's mental. So I'm just reading the cards. This was for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. And I hope that is not the case. I would love to see every couple that I did readings on tonight have a happily ever after. So may that 10 of Cups be true, but we will see what happens in the future with Normani and DK Metcalf. All right, how many more readings do we have left for tonight? Oh, so we have two more. So in this next reading, let's have a look at Pro Football Legend Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime. Let me get my visuals. All right, so to wrap up this football section of my WAGS readings special, let's look at Pro Football Legend Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, formerly known as Primetime, while he played pro football in the NFL in the 90s. We'll see what the cards say about his relationship with his actress girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, who the world came to learn was dating him last summer, when she appeared in video clips by his bedside supporting him through his recovery from bladder cancer removal surgery. They went Instagram official over the holidays. I'm trying to see if I can find pictures of that. Why is it so restricted? It wasn't like this before. Let's see. Yeah, there were pictures of them over the holidays, but I'm not seeing it here. They went Instagram official over the holidays, and let me just get back to... Sorry, guys. I'm reading notes and seeing the chat and navigating pictures and doing it all on one tiny screen. So just bear with me because it is harder than it seems. Okay. Yes, this is her when she was supporting him during the bladder. Yeah. What is it called? Bladder cancer removal surgery. She was tearfully in that video supporting him. And They went Instagram official over the holidays and reportedly met through mutual connections of Deion Sanders' ex-girlfriend, Tracy Edwards. So Deion and Tracy dated for almost 12 years. They were engaged for 4, and they broke up a little over 2 years ago in December 2023. Let me just zoom out of this now. Come on, come on. You could do it. Come on. Come on. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. There we go. Karrueche Tran famously dated singer-dancer Chris Brown and footballer Victor Cruz. I think there was a picture of them down here somewhere. There she is with Breezy. Sorry, guys, my mouse is really not responsive today. I don't know why it's unfortunate that I'm not able to zoom in and out as I was before. I think this is her here with Victor Cruz. Yeah, it's not. Oh, is that? Let me see. Well, that's a good picture of Karrueche and Deion. I was just trying to give you guys a picture of Karrueche and Victor. But anyway, I know that I saw it here earlier, but now I can't find it. All right. So Karrueche Tran famously dated singer-dancer Chris Brown and footballer Victor. So let's see what the cards have to say about the dynamic between Deion Lewin Sanders, who is 58. He is a Leo. He has 5 kids. And Karrueche Tran. She is 37. She is a Taurus. So they have a 21-year age gap. Many people were surprised to see them together because Karrueche looks so young, but she's in her late 30s, so she can date a man in that age group and it shouldn't be considered inappropriate. But a 21-year age gap is always something that the public is going to question or be surprised about. So let's see what the cards have to say about what is the dynamic between Deion and Karrueche Tran. Knight of Swords. Ooh. So this is the energy of someone that is very ambitious. This is someone who's competitive, who's defensive, someone who takes action, someone who is maybe changing their lifestyle. So maybe Karrueche Tran wanted something different. It seems like she wanted someone that was successful, of course, because that's what she's used to dating with those examples that we gave of her previous public relationships. But she wanted someone that is competitive, energized, fearless. Maybe she admired a lot of Deion's characteristics or his legacy, his history. She seems to have also wanted someone that is serious and mature compared to her previous public relationships. So maybe that's why she went with someone that has a 21-year age gap. But maybe Deion also exemplified effort, because this idea of someone being competitive, meaning he probably showed interest in a way that she felt showed that he was serious, and she enjoyed that element of a mature man that is not playing around like maybe some of the younger partners that she's had in the past may have given her the impression that they were doing. So let's pull out a few more cards here. Oh, okay. Someone that's healed. The Devil card is about someone that has moved away from any negative attachments or addictions. Someone that has overcome bad habits, bad influence, vices, and materialism. So this is the second card reinforcing this idea of wanting someone that is serious and someone that is mature. Someone that's not still dealing with the internal conflicts and the self-development that one would see in a younger suitor. Okay, the Moon card in reverse, though, this indicates that some uncertainty, some illusions, anxieties, and fears are getting the best of someone. So maybe there is someone in this relationship that has doubts. I wonder who that could be, because recently in the Valentine's Day footage that was shared of them, it seemed like they were very comfortable with each other. So I guess that would be natural in a relatively new relationship. It seems like they've been dating for roughly a year. It would be natural to still have some hesitation about where things are going with someone. Let me see if the following cards can clarify. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this could be someone who's very selfish or very demanding. This is the aggressive energy of someone, and this person may be very jealous or very insecure. Someone who is possibly even apathetic or has some sort of emptiness and is frustrated or very aggressive. Like their passion is going in the wrong direction. Either they're lacking passion and lacking self-confidence, or they are frustrated and aggressive with someone or something. So these two cards are now contrasting those first two cards, because someone that's healed versus someone that is aggressive, demanding, and selfish, that doesn't seem like someone that has fully done the work. Now, maybe this could possibly be, what's Karrueche again? She's a Taurus, so she's an earth sign. So I was going to say, because we're seeing a feminine image here, this could be Karrueche, but since Deion is a fire sign and this is from the suit of wands, maybe there is an element there that he's still working through. Maybe he is still overcoming some sort of jealousy or something there, something about confidence. I mean, Deion seems like a super confident guy, so I doubt that that's for him. Is there a third party perhaps? Maybe, who was he dealing with before? Oh, right, Tracy. Maybe that third party, any other significant women in Deion's life, maybe they are the ones that are casting doubt on this relationship. Let's see if we can clarify that as we get more cards. Another popular card for tonight, we're getting the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, indicating bad luck. So this is not positive fate. So the fate and the karma in this relationship may be negative. So there's something in this relationship that may work against them somehow, which I'm surprised, again, since we started off with those two cards that were indicating that Deion may have had some very desirable characteristics for Karrueche, but someone still has a lot of work to do, and there's definitely external forces. So as before, this Queen of Wands may actually not even be either of them in the relationship. It may be someone else, an external party that is contributing negatively to the relationship. They're casting doubt and creating these illusions to provoke conflict or anxiety and doubt between those two. Let's see what the following say. Interesting, the Empress in reverse. This could possibly mean that Karrueche is not sure if she wants to have kids, so maybe that's why she wanted to get with someone that already had kids. The Empress card is the divine feminine energy, who is very fertile, very confident, very creative, and very abundant. But in reverse, it could indicate that someone either doesn't want to get pregnant or is having trouble getting pregnant. This could also indicate some creative blocks, but because it's about a relationship, I would think it has more to do with someone's motherly instincts and some challenges to that. So Karrueche may be nurturing, but she just may not necessarily want to reproduce herself. So maybe that was another point of attraction, that she wanted to get with a guy that already has children. Two of Wands, interesting. Planning and preparation. Wow, are they thinking of taking their relationship to the next step, elevating their commitment from boyfriend and girlfriend to an engagement? Wow, interesting. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised, because after you support someone through such a serious health battle like bladder cancer, I would think that you all are bonded, right? That is bonding over something very serious and thinking about someone's life, like not livelihood, but their lifespan is what I meant to say. Thinking about someone's lifespan because you were there supporting them, then I guess you're investing in that person somehow for the long term. And so one would assume that this could mean they may be planning an engagement. They may be thinking of being committed to each other long term. Interesting. Yikes. The Seven of Swords in reverse, though, indicates someone that lied, cheated, or stole something. This is someone that is deceptive, dishonest, untruthful. And when it's in reverse, this indicates that that information has either already been revealed or it will be revealed. And it's a matter of time before we see what someone does with that information. So let's just see what the bottom of the deck says, because I'm not sure what to do with that information. If you're planning for marriage, and you don't want to have kids, and there's external forces, but you like that this guy is mature and healed and putting in the effort, but then there's someone lying and cheating. Let's see what the following cards say. Not again. Sheesh. Unfortunately, we're seeing the Lover's card in reverse again, which I'm very surprised to see, because I feel like, again, if you stand by someone's side while they're going through recovery from something as serious as cancer, you are really committed long term. But it seems like they may not make it as far as I would think. The Fool card indicates someone that is starting anew, starting fresh. So this could be that after a breakup, Karrueche is single and outside again, out in these streets. So while there may be contemplation of planning some sort of level up in their relationship, be it buying property together or an engagement, it seems like something's going to come to light that's going to nip that in the bud and make, I would assume, Karrueche decide that, you know what, this is not for me. I'm gonna just pivot. What was the last two cards that we saw here? Yeah, I got other options, and I still want to work on my fame and my career. So we have the Seven of Cups here and the Star card. So it seems like once, oh, there we go. Seems like once Karrueche gets out of this relationship, she will go and explore her options and focus on her career again and enjoy her spotlight, her fame, all of the things that she was developing for herself. So I guess it will be fun while it lasts. Let's see what happens. I'm always wishing I would see more positive cards in love and relationship readings, but unfortunately, relationships are a vehicle that the universe or God uses for us to learn lessons. So that seems to be the case in this reading, as well as many of the other relationship readings that I did tonight. But let's see what happens. Wishing Karrueche Tran and primetime Deion Sanders the best in their relationship. So let's move on to our next and final reading for tonight on champion Formula One race car driver Lewis Hamilton and reality TV star Kim Kardashian. Let's get those visuals up. There we go. So apparently Lewis Hamilton is now dating Kim K, and there have been pictures circulating of them recently as we saw them pop out at the Super Bowl. Let's see, this is from when they first met way back when. There goes Kanye, there goes Kim, polite cheek kisses, but now at the Super Bowl, oh, come on. Was having a hard time zooming out. But now at the Super Bowl, we saw them really smooch. Look at that. From cheek kisses to lip kisses. Ooh. So they hard launched at the Super Bowl because there were a few pictures of them circulating for a couple weeks. Some people didn't know if it was real or if it was AI. So indeed, they have confirmed that they are officially together. So we'll see what the cards have to say about them, but I just wanted to show this picture from back when Lewis Hamilton was dating Nicole Scherzinger. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but she was a singer-dancer in the Pussycat Doll band or team. It was a group of ladies that were singing. Here goes Kim Kardashian back when she was married to Kanye West, a very popular rapper, or I should say a very polarizing rap figure. So interesting. They indeed knew each other, and let's also notice the similarities. Kim and Nicole favor, I would say, with this whole California girl, brunette aesthetic, olive skin tone, and all the things. So not too far-fetched that they are now seeing each other. And before I even look at the cards, I just want to say that I personally like, hold on, let me get this visual. So let's do a reading on Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton. So before I even see what the cards have to say, I personally like them together. It seems like they are age appropriate. Lewis is 41. He's a Capricorn. Kim is 45, a well-preserved 45. She is a Libra. And actually, Lewis he's been knighted. So his official name now is Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. Ooh, fancy. That's something that Kim probably likes because we know she loves clout. So that is something unique, something different from the guys that she has had in the past, but still someone in the realm of entertainment and fame and athletic. So, well, race car driver, it's considered to be something in the sports world, right? But you're not really actually using your body like how other athletes are. Yet and still, from the outside looking in, it seems like it's a nice match. And actually, if any of you saw my Kardashian round readings, which I will link here for those of you that will watch the replay, I actually remember seeing the Ace of Cups was the first thing that came out when I asked, will Kim K find love again, or will she marry again? So indeed, it seems that she is now enjoying a new love with Lewis Hamilton, and let's see where that goes. Will it make it as far as marriage, or are they just enjoying their time? Let me do a side shuffle here. Ooh, it's a new deck, so I'm still trying to find the best way to shuffle it and break them in. The cards are still pretty tough, pretty stiff. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about the dynamic between Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian? What is to come for this new relationship between Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian? Let's get some cards out for Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian. There we go. Oh, nice. Six of Cups. This is always a positive card, but this indicates something about the past, something favorable about the past. So it's a reconnection with someone from the past. As we just saw, they did know each other from many moons ago, back when they were each in other relationships. And so now it seems like they are happy to get a chance to explore their own romantic connection. Maybe they always found each other attractive, but because they were in relationships, I believe Lewis Hamilton was with Nicole for 8 years or more. They were on and off for quite a while. Kim was married for probably the same amount of years. So since they were both occupied, they didn't get a chance to explore that connection, but maybe they had a little something, interest at least from way back then. So they're happy to get a chance to see what's up with that. Oh, interesting. 10 of Swords. So someone is having a hard time letting go of something toxic, something that will never get better with this 10 of Swords, all these 10 daggers in someone's back. This is someone resisting a change, resisting the ending of something. I wonder what that could be, resisting the ending of something to one's own detriment. So you're keeping yourself in a bad situation by resisting this ending. Let's get a few more cards out to see what could that be. Is it that Kim is not supposed to be dating someone that is in entertainment anymore? Maybe she's repeating patterns, or maybe Lewis was in another relationship secretly that he didn't wrap that up before starting this new relationship with Kim. I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there. Let's see what the following card is. So now we have the Hierophant in reverse, and this indicates that someone is looking to be rebellious. Someone's looking to go against the grain of whatever is the norm for some group or some community, some network. We can take this to mean the industry, but whatever is expected of them, they're looking to rebel against that and go against that. So this idea of rebellion and someone keeping themselves in something that may be toxic or self-harming, something that may be a waste of someone's time, it indicates that there's someone in this relationship that's either stubborn or holding on to something from the past. Let's see what the following cards are saying. The Hermit. Okay, so someone needs to be single at this time. Someone is meant to take some time to be introspective and reflect and seek spiritual guidance, but maybe someone doesn't want to be single. So while this is perhaps what they need to be closer to God or to the universe, to strengthen their spirituality and focus on themselves, it seems like whoever's in this relationship between Kim and Lewis Hamilton, Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton, they are resisting this period of solitude that the universe may be calling them into. They want to have fun. They want to just be in love and have fun with this guy that I met way back when, and let's see where it goes. So why not? That's what life is for, right? But this Four of Wands indicates that it may not go as far as marriage because there may be a lot of instability there. There's something wrong in someone's home life, someone's personal life. This is about someone leaving home, someone having arguments, and overall instability. So it could be that because Kim K lives a very jet-setter life and she's trying to do so many things all the time, as well as Lewis Hamilton, who is busy doing his sports race car driving stuff. They probably are going to be very busy, and that instability, instead of consistency of being able to consistently see each other, that instability is going to wear on them over time. They're not going to be able to maintain this relationship because it's going to be very high effort. So it seems like it's going to be fun for now, but it will not last as far as marriage, which for those of you that, again, saw my Kardashian lightning round, that also came out in the cards after the Ace of Cups that I pulled for Kim K about if she will marry again or if she will find love again. Something afterwards, I don't remember which cards, but it indicated that it will not last. So these cards are somewhat repeating that idea. Then we have the Nine of Swords. So this indicates that after a period of fears, anxieties, nightmares, maybe even depression, this difficult mental state that one was in because of possible illusions, maybe blowing things out of proportion, they are now in a sense of closure. They're more composed. They have gained clarity on their situation. They've gotten a grip. So maybe there are some worries associated with this idea of needing to be with someone. Like maybe Kim K is wanting to move on from her connection to her past relationships. I mean, the last relationship that we saw her in was the Pete Davidson after Kanye, and that was a long time ago. So maybe she wanted to not let that be the last guy that people remember her being with. And so she's just happy to have someone new that she's associated with. Or this could also mean that there were some doubts that someone had about something or someone, that now it's been cleared up. Now they put that aside and feel secure in the relationship. Let me pull a few more cards to get more clarity. So we have the Page of Wands in reversed. So this is about someone that feels discouraged, distracted. There's an element of procrastination here. There is immaturity. There's possibly even depression. So this is the second time that we're seeing this idea of depression. And when I go back to this earlier card in the reading about someone perhaps needing to be single, these cards could be saying that maybe someone did not want to be single. Someone would rather be with someone than to be single because they were starting to feel depressed. And so they got into this relationship trying to have something better than nothing, but then they're realizing that it's not going to pan out the way I wanted to. It's not going to be this long-lasting connection, so maybe I would have been better off without it. Let's see what the following card says. Yikes, yeah, 5 of Cups, disappointment, loss, grief, a sense of regret. So exactly what these cards were starting to indicate, that there may be some element of regret for entertaining a relationship that is not going to end up in a long-term commitment, all because someone was more eager to be with someone instead of being alone, to avoid this idea of depression, but then you're still going to end up sad and grieving and disappointed. So yikes, these cards indicate that things will not go well. Wow, that's positive. Wait a minute. Oh, wow, these are very confusing cards because we're getting good and bad, good and bad. So 9 of Pentacles in reverse indicates someone falsifying their success on the outside, making it look like things are all good, but behind closed doors, it's actually not. This could also be someone who spends frivolously, someone that is irresponsible with their spending or materialistic, someone that is not financially where they should be because they experienced some sort of financial failures. So whatever they invested in it's just not panning out as they thought it would. But then we're seeing this 2 of Cups, which indicates a mutually beneficial connection. So whether it is a love connection or a business connection, they both seem to find some sort of benefits in keeping up this image of being in a relationship together, whether it's real love or whether it is, as they say these days, a PR relationship where they can both benefit from it for whatever press goals they have. Maybe she wants to rebrand herself after that last relationship and further remove herself from that connection to Kanye West, who is a very controversial character in the entertainment world. Maybe he wants to get more press and exposure before the Formula One races start. I don't know what the schedule is for that, but it seems like they have different races in different parts of the world around the year. So maybe they are both benefiting from the press and the exposure of the relationship, and that may still be satisfactory for them, even if it's not real love, because there were elements that indicated that this is not going to last long, and you guys could just fake the funk and keep up the appearance or pretend like you're together in order to get these benefits. But then the last 2 cards that we got here was the 7 of Pentacles, which is indicating that the investment of time, effort, and energy that someone made into something, in this case, it would be into someone, it's not paying off. It's not reaping the rewards that one expected, that one wanted. And we end with this Ace of Cups, which is indicating new love, compassion, maybe a new baby, maybe a proposal. So I would take from this that they may make it as far as an engagement just to feed this idea of PR relationship, get as much press from this as possible, but it's not genuine love. It's just a situation that they are both looking to benefit from and get exposure from and possibly even financial benefits from. But I don't see this lasting long, being an everlasting love. So we will see what truly happens, and we wish them luck. I mean, I do also have to show these last 2 cards because they caught my eye. We do see the 10 of Pentacles, which means lots of money. This is about someone's legacy, someone's long-term finance, especially as it relates to family or someone's foundation in terms of their investments, their household, something long-term. And since it's upright, it seems like this idea to get together for the benefits, it's going to pay off for them financially, at least somehow, or for the legacy, the image, the brand that they're trying to boost for each of their respective selves. What was the other card? Yeah, the 6 of Swords, needing to move on from something toxic, from something destructive and an environment or a person that is conflictive. So it seems like that is going to be something necessary as well, but because it's in reverse, there's a resistance to moving on from that toxicity. So let's see what happens. It seems like they may not make it as far as full-blown marriage, but they will definitely entertain each other for a while and get as many benefits as they can from this relationship in terms of press. There was at some point some sort of attraction, and they're happy to be giving it another chance, but there are a lot of indicators here that if they were to continue in this relationship long term, there would be disappointment and there would be a disconnect in terms of what they each would want from a relationship long term. So seems like it'll come down to just cashing out and enjoying the ride while it lasts. We'll see who will be the first to indicate that they are no longer interested in the other. But for now, they do seem like they are well matched, even if they have narcissistic tendencies that is equally seen on both sides. So that makes them ideal for each other at this stage, I guess. All right, my people, mi gente. On my next stream, I will be doing readings on Justin and Hailey Bieber, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Selena and Benny Blanco, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, Ciara and Russell Wilson, Demi Lovato and Juice Jordyn, and Ashanti and Nelly. So be sure to stay tuned for that next stream. I hope you enjoyed tonight's WAGS Valentine's Day weekend special, and tune in for that part 2. Let me see what the chat is saying before I close out. Okay. Looks like we're all caught up. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. Let's make sure that I am centered and decent. All right. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow to be notified of when I do these streams. Of course, be in touch if you would like a personal reading. The link is in bio. Thank you for all your likes, for your hearts, for your comments, for your support. Big hearts right back at you. As a small and new creator, it means so much. So thank you. Big hearts for all of my shiny supporters. And I wish you all abundance and illumination. May divine light radiate through your life. Keep shining. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. One more time for the nail game. Yes. This was my Valentine's Day weekend nails and blouse. So, oh, do you see that? LOVE. Yes. Okay. Thank you, darling. Mwah. Kisses, hugs, lots of love. I hope you all have lots of love that you are enjoying in your personal lives, because this world needs more love, right? That's what Bad Bunny said at the Benito Bowl. All right. Take care, guys. Toodles. Love ya. Ciao. Can I give it to you like this? Yeah. Enjoy the heart on the flower on the way out. Bye.